going on, comic compadres, and welcome back to the Hood Rat Podcast, where I'm Hood Rat, you're Hood Rat, and we all Hood Rats, man. And we got the Rat Pack in the house, man. We got Dan, we got Comic Book Crackhead, and we got Mind Shift. How's it going, guys? How's life and wherever you are?
It's been a crazy week.
Yeah,
I know, man. Right.
Kirk speaks for all of us. It's been crazy as all, and it's busy, and it's like lots of things coming at you, but that's life. You deal with it.
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I woke up this morning. I'm breathing, so I can't complain.
That's right. Man, it's been a super weird week, like 2 weeks for me, because I think every time I see a full moon, I know it's going to be a weird time, bro. So it's like, we had the full moon last week. It was all bright, man. It was all near the earth, messing with people, man, messing with our lives. Now we're kind of going back to
I love that kind of stuff. And by the way, for the chat, forgive the audio. I'm having technical difficulties. This is the best we're going to get today. But you wake up around 4:30 in the morning, and you look at the east, and you'll see 4 planets and I think the moon, and it's at that angle of the solar system. It's very cool to see all planets.
It's alignment.
It's alignment. Yeah, there you go. It's messing with us.
Hey, let's say what's up to the chat, man, before we start the show. Entropies, as always, man.
What up, Kevin?
He's always first. He's always first over there in the tailgate as a tailgater. Then we got Who Dat. Who Dat's gonna be on next week, man. He's coming back.
Nice.
Who Dat's coming
That's
back,
what I'm
man.
talking about.
I don't know. I maybe asked Who Dat to come to the show we had before San Diego Comic Con, because we're gonna have a real special guest on that one too. So
nice.
Yeah, I'll talk to you, Russell. I'll talk to you, man. Because I want you on the best show that we can get, man. You know what I'm saying? And we got comic kingpins. The kingpins in the house. They go on before us, right? They go on like maybe 3 hours before us, right?
And they gave us a huge shout out this afternoon. Check out the Comic Kingpins. They're an absolute dynamite show every Monday at 4:00 Pacific.
Yep. And you know what? And then who that's yeah, man. Always, bro. You're part of the family, man. But hey, man, we got a special guest for you guys on the show. Ooh. I'm gonna turn it over to Dan, man. I'm gonna turn it over to Dan because Dan's gonna introduce our guest over here. So go ahead, Dan.
We got a very, very special guest, and I'm very happy that he's on. And we're starting the show with him because to be sensitive and respectful for his time, because he's on the East Coast. He's in Florida. This is Tony Trombatta, and I pronounced it correctly. Tony is the president and CEO of E.G.S. Comic Slabbing Company. Given the controversy with CGC, I think he's the perfect person to have on the show. Tony, welcome to the broadcast, and nice to have you on this evening.
We forgot one more person. Sorry, Tony.
Go ahead.
We're bringing in the familiar right here, Efren, man. Efren's coming. He's one of the guests today too, man. So, Efren,
hey guys.
Efren has a lot. I know Efren would have a lot of good questions because he's been in the comic book game since Dan and Javid days, man. Going way back. You know what I'm saying? So, and he does a lot of slabbing as well. So go ahead, Dan. I'm gonna turn it over to you, man.
So Tony, let's just start with an intro. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about E.G.S. How'd you get started, and anything you want to talk about regarding your company.
Yeah, well, I mean, I started E.G.S. Back in late 2018. It was really towards the end of the year. So, I mean, I count 2019 as our first full year. And basically, we are a third-party grader, just like, the other guys out there. We pretty much do the same things, only we do things a little bit different here. Basically, I got into this. One of the reasons why I got into this is because, like a lot of people, I was just, kind of fed up about, everything going on with these other companies, how they were treating people and kind of the things that they were doing. And, I said, I think there's room for another company out there that can, do it, but do it better, and do it better for, the community and, collectors and, pretty much everybody. So, that was really the premise of why, I started it. Now, I've been wanting to do this before 2018. I mean, it was a little process before that, but I mean, really that's why, I'm here, just because of the fact that, I thought that there was a need for another company, and I figured the community would hopefully would rally around that and and accept that, and it's been a great ride so far. I mean, I can't complain.
Well, I sponsor a number of shows, including journos and comic book canon. That's how I found you, because you were in the chat, and I think Chris from Journos had you on his show at least once, if not more, and you've been on the canon show. Mm-hmm. And what impressed me was, one, you're in the community, you're out in the open, you're very accessible, and you have these. Some of the slabs that are behind you are absolutely gorgeous slabs. That's one of your signature calling cards. Is the wide variety of labels. Can you talk about being in the chat, and also about the labels and how that came into being?
Well, I mean, the whole idea for the labels, I mean, that wasn't something that I actually had in mind when I first started, when I first opened. That came, I don't know, probably 6 months or so after the fact. And really how that really came to be was I was talking to another fellow YouTuber at the time, and we were talking about, just the grading game, and he was, shooting some things. We were talking about, what CGC is doing, what CBCS is doing, and what I was doing. And during the conversation, as it was rolling on, this YouTuber said, he said, he goes, what would be sick? And I said, what? He goes, and I forgot what book he was holding or what he had. But he was like, I've got this, whatever. He goes, if I could just only have like a hot pink label on this book, it would just be fire and outstanding. And like, as soon as he said that, the light bulb just went on, and I'm like, why can't you have a pink label? I mean, why does a blue label have to stand for one thing, and yellow have to stand for another? I mean, the label has nothing to do. The label isn't changing the grade of the book. I mean, the information is on the label. So, this whole thing about, why one color has to mean just one thing, I just thought was, it was kind of ridiculous. And I'm like, I think if I came out with this and gave everybody their own option of a label, I thought that would be a great thing, not only for, us as a company, but for you guys, for the community. It gives you the option of saying, hey, I want my book to look like this. I know the grade's on there. I know it's a certified book because it's on the label. Why does it have to be blue? I want it red. I want it pink. I want it black. I want a gradient, I mean, so that's really, I mean, really in a nutshell, how it started was over a conversation I was having. So
Tony, I know the panel has a number of questions for you, but let's before we get into that, walk us through the process. Someone sends you a book or a handful of books. Give us a start to finish breakdown.
Yeah. So basically what we do is, when you guys, obviously you have to go on the website. We have an online form that you fill out. Once you fill out the form, you just submit it. And when you submit it, it comes right into our server. And, you could also print it out on your end. And then you would mail us the books. When we get the books, then we go ahead and send you an invoice for what you want. When that's paid, we process. Processing is usually maybe a day, maybe 2 business days at most to process it. Then your turnaround time starts. So, once the turnaround time starts, it's the process is, if there's pressing and cleaning, because we offer pressing and cleaning too. It's just, it goes, your books get graded, the labels get made, the books get encapsulated, and the books get shipped back to you. It's not really rocket science when you know what you're doing. So that's pretty much really the process. Again, minus the pressing and cleaning. If there's pressing and cleaning, then it's a little extra time, but that's pretty much it.
All right, I know Ephraim's he's been chomping at the bit here. So Ephraim, let's start with you. What go ahead, fire away whatever questions you have.
Thanks, Dan. How do you pick the graders? I mean, I know you said you're part of the community, because when I look at books, I mean, I don't know how to grade. I have a vague idea, but how do you get the employees how did you pick them? Sorry.
Well, I mean, as of right now, I am the only grader. So any other graders that come in, I will have to, teach them the way that that I do it for E.G.S, which is, by the Overstreet Guide to Grading Comics 100%. That's how we get to that number. How the other companies get to that number, good luck in trying to find out.
Hey, man, at least you got a format, bro.
But that's,
big one.
I learned my grading through courses on the Overstreet Guide to Grading Comics. So that's the standard that we use to certify 100%. So whoever I hire or comes in, now I have to, teach that person this standard. And then obviously when I feel comfortable enough that they can go on their own, then they would start. But right now, I mean, I'm the only grader. How long that's going to be, I don't know. But for right now, I'm able to, handle pretty much all of that myself. But when the time comes, I'm sure I'll be training people in our way of doing things here. So
I think one of the hardest things, there's so many people are so stuck on CGC and they don't want to break out and go to other companies. I mean, I listen to Dan, and I'm not doing CGC at all myself, to be honest with you. I've gone over to CBCS, but I'm going to try your company I just think having different companies is better for the community. I mean, just having one company like CGC for decades, everybody's just stuck on them. And I'm glad that you have started this company.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, and you're right. They were the first in the game, right? I mean, they started it all. And listen, they're the elephant in the room. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and argue that fact. I mean, they've been in the game, 20 years? Their books are worth the most on the secondary market. I mean, we can't do anything about that. I mean, we can't do anything except do the best job we can do every day. That's all we can do. The rest is up to everybody else. I mean,
well, Tony, you strike me as what CGC used to be 20 years ago. When they started their company, they focused in on quality and only quality, and that caught on. And then they got to a point where they were so big they didn't know what to do with themselves. That's growing pains in any company. And now it seems like they're in self-implosion mode. And this is an opportunity for you and others. Now, you and I spoke off air, and you seem to have a very realistic approach to things. In other words, you don't want to take over CGC's operations or to go to that caliber. You said you wanted to take the number 3 spot, if you will, which would be PGX. That strikes me as a very realistic strategy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, obviously we want to be number 1. I mean, who wouldn't? Who doesn't? But I'm also realistic. It takes time, and it takes building trust with people, and that takes time. I mean, listen, all these other companies, look, they had a bunch of money behind them. They had millions behind them when they started. I had thousands. They have millions when they started. So my rise is going to take, is going to be a lot more challenging, when you don't have that freedom of having investors or, that money behind you to where you can just, go full force right off the bat. We've just been, slowly growing and growing every year. We're just, we're growing. And, I think when these new cases come out, I think we're going to have our sights firmly set on that number 3. But, listen, I mean, like I said, I mean, I can't control where we're going to go. I can only do, we can only, do the best we could do. I mean, listen, I wish, if it was up to me, our books would be worth the most on the secondary market. Why wouldn't I want my books to be worth the most? Why wouldn't I want to be the number one company? But, there's a lot that comes along with that, and a lot of time and effort. So, we can only, again, do what we do and do it to the best of our ability. And where that takes us, it takes us. If we pass PGX, if we pass CBCS, if we get up to that upper echelon, then great. I mean, that's wonderful. But we want to be there, but I mean, we have no control over over that. That's up to you guys. That's up to the consumer to take us wherever we're going to go. So,
John, I know you've got questions, John. What do you have to for Mr. Tony?
And Tony, thank you first of all for being here. I think it's great that you actually joined, and especially this late in the evening. But is there a membership fee like CGC has for your to be a member for this company?
No membership. Nope, no membership.
That's awesome.
That's one thing from the very start. We do not believe that there should be a membership fee. Let me give a shout out to Comic Ozzy. What's up, you?
My other question is, since you're the only grader, what's the turnaround time generally?
Well, we're at 3 months.
Okay.
3 months is our standard turnaround time. Now we do have, tiers where you pay more in that, I think the next tier is 10 business days, right? From 3 months. That would be the next jump. And really, I mean, we were holding at a month for a very long time. Then unfortunately, with, COVID and the pandemic, I mean, I started having, and still to this day, I'm having a problem getting the cases that we use because we don't make them, right? I buy them from a third party, right? So what's happened is because of the plastic shortage and stuff on that end with him, all the orders that I'm putting in, I mean, I'm only getting, portions of that order and they're taking twice as long. So I'm not getting full orders in and it's taking longer. So that's just backlog things to where, we're at 3 months, but we've been holding for 3 months for a while. So, I think we shouldn't go, I don't see us going past the 3 months, but if it wasn't for that problem, we'd probably still be at, a month, maybe 2 at the worst. But, it's not for a lack of, we're so swamped, we can't do the work. Mm-hmm. It's, you have to have the, I can't, I need the slabs to put the books in.
Sure.
Right. And when you don't have that and you have to wait for that, that's how we kind of got into this 3 month window. But still, I mean, 3 months is better than 6 or 8, right? I mean, so.
Kirk, what say you, sir?
Well, one of my questions is, how do you see the market in the next 5-10 years as you guys go? Not just with you, but with the other,
industry, like the grading industry.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I think it's just, one of those. It's just an industry, man, that it goes as you guys go. I mean, it's based on demand, right? So I don't know. I can't foresee if we're, how is, I think the economy is gonna play a little role in it. I mean, but you don't know until you get into it, right? I mean, so in the next 5 years, what happens if we're in a recession come next year? Is that going to affect us, or is it not going to affect us? I don't know. It's an unknown, at least for me. But listen, I mean, I think this industry is strong. I mean, everybody, it seems now are looking to get their books, graded in slabs, opposed to, doing the raw thing. But, and I think that's just going to keep, over the years, I think that's just going to keep, escalating. But again, is the economy going to play a factor? I don't know. It's yet to be seen.
Ian, what's your question, sir?
I just with the changes of we Dan discussed some of the changes with CGC, that happened a month ago, right?
Yeah.
And we're all, as consumers, we're all pretty disappointed, I gotta say, because we don't know what we're gonna get, especially if you're buying these books on the secondary market. You don't know what the hell you're gonna get, right? Like it's like the one of the more trusted entities is now untrusted, right? What are the ripples in the industry now? What are you feeling, man? How is this going to change your approach as a business, for us consumers who want transparency, right? Yeah. And we don't feel like we're getting it from CGC anymore.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, I agree. I mean, I will say this. So you guys and everybody out there that's watching, look, what CGC does, I hope everybody understands that they don't just all of a sudden one day say, hey, we're not going to put these on labels anymore. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, this has been in the works for months upon months upon months before this. I mean, a company does not do something like that on a whim. Okay, this has been thought out. This has been in the works for months, and they're just, they just released it, a couple of weeks ago, right? Now, so as far as I'm concerned, this is how they want to do it, and that's fine. They could do it whatever way they want. I mean, I would never. I don't know why. I mean, to me, it doesn't make sense, but to them, apparently, it does. And that's it. But just remember, I have no idea if it what goes on in the inner sanctums there, but. I don't know if this had anything to do with the merger and the buyout, and maybe that investment group came in and said, hey, look, this is our plan. This is our budget. This is how much we want to make. How can we get there? How can we do this? Listen, I'm sure, they've sat down and thought out a lot of things and are doing things the way they want to do it. Now, I mean, would I do it that way? No, but they feel like this is a good thing for them, and this is what they want to do, and God bless them. Just like CBCS, they come out with new price changes and guaranteed turnaround times and all of this stuff. I mean, great for them. But just know that this stuff has been planned out for months and months and months before any of the general public knows about it or any announcement comes out. I mean, this stuff is well thought out. So,
Tony, that's what lost me when they made that decision about a month ago, that they're now doing sort of a how do you describe it? If you're hiding. Look, if I'm going to bring up some books right here that I'm going to send you out because I want to. I've made a decision. I'm going to go to you, Ian. Can you big screen me? Because if I'm sending you this is one of my prides and joys, Avengers 1. All right, I don't want this to be a 9.8 because we know it's 9.8. I know there's some restoration issues on it. I want a fair grade. I want an honest grade. But if I go to sell it, I want someone to say, "Hey, this is what it says." It's maybe a 1.5 or 2 at the very best. It's got some issues here. I want everything up front so the person says, okay, great, this is what it is. It's been completely certified and a very strict grade. And that way there's no shenanigans. There's no guessing game. It's this little shell game that CGC has put themselves into, which is why I don't trust them anymore. And I agree with you that this was a decision that was months in the making. And I'm certain the $500 million they got from Blackstone influenced that decision.
you could be right there, Dan. I mean, again, I'm not there. I don't know. But listen, I've always said, with me being, a collector myself. I mean, I'm 52. I don't know how old, you guys are on the panel. So I go back a ways. So I remember the days how it was when, I mean, the comic shop owner was grading their books, and you go to a convention and the dealer was grading their books, and it was, what they thought it was. And then you say to yourself, well, you say it's a very fine. I think this is a fine at best. I'll give you, this for it. And that's where the give and take was, right?
Mhm.
I mean, really now it's kind of like a wild, wild west, right? I mean, as far as, the way things go now, it's so different. But, the way I always looked at it is that, you guys work hard for your money, right? I've worked hard my whole life. And, any comic that I've bought as a collector, I worked hard for that money. You guys work hard for your money, and you're sending your comics with your hard-earned money and spending your hard-earned money and sending it to us. So to me, the least we could do is put the right information on a label and give you grader's notes telling you what we've seen wrong on the book and not charge you for it. I mean, to me, that's always been a head scratcher why these companies do what they do. I never understood that. I mean, I understand, everybody's in it to make money, and everybody's trying to squeeze every inch of profit out of their product. But I come from a time in a generation where we work hard for our money, man, and we want the best for our money, and if we don't get it, then you're going to hear about it, right? I mean, so that, to me, again, it's just, I just think it's more of a corporate, it's a corporate entity thinking. And that thinking to me is just not connected to the real world.
I
So,
agree
Tony,
100%.
Go ahead, Efren. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say I agree 100%. I think these other companies have just forgotten us, the consumers.
Yeah.
Who we are. That we're comic book collectors. It's a passion of ours.
Yeah.
And I think they've just forgotten that.
Yes. Yeah. Well, listen. I just think that I mean, I don't know, but when you command the market share that CGC does, it's very easy to see how they can just take things for granted. I mean, I think, I mean, I don't know what their numbers are. I can't tell you if they're up, down, or what, but when you command that much of the market share, I think it's more of a thing now to where they say, hey, we're the main gig in town, and we're gonna dictate to you our way of doing things. You like it, fine. You don't, hit the road. And they don't sweat it if you do.
Yeah.
And I just, to me, I think they've just, to me, they've lost touch. They really have. I think they've lost touch to they have no, I don't know. They have no boots on the ground. They just seem way out in their own land, doing their own thing, because they know, hey, our books are worth this. People aren't gonna, if we lose 10% of our business, what's that to them, right? But to companies like myself, who are smaller, I mean, if we lose 10% or gain 10%, that's a big deal, right? But a gigantic corporation like that, I mean, I just think it's the way that they're doing things is just, they're really starting to show their corporate entity, their corporate mentality.
Hey Tony, we got some comments, and we got some good comments coming from the chat. So James is in the chat, and he said, I agree for myself. I'm not buying any Silver Age or Bronze CGC book that was graded in 2022. It's the year of the raw book. I like what E.G.S is saying. And I'm saying the same thing. I think we all say the same thing. Like anything 2022 after from CGC is an asterisk. You know, you're kind of not getting, you don't know what the hell you're getting. There's no transparency. The Lady Fantastic says here, if you control 50% or more of the market share, then you're a monopoly. And as they say, as they say, man, absolute power is absolute, right? Like there needs to be more of a balance in the share of the grading market, right?
Yes, I agree. I mean, listen, you know, everybody needs competition, and you know, it makes everybody better. You know, it makes everybody better. I mean, the more competition there are, the more innovative and better you need to be. But you know, when you're owning 70% of a market share, you know, I mean, that's quite a monopoly. But you know, they said Rome would never fall either, right?
Yeah, and Lady Fantastic says regulatory entity, and I think as consumers, we are that regulatory entity. It's just we gotta get off the CGC bandwagon and kind of go elsewhere, you know, to even things out, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, again, I don't know. I mean, listen, the best way that CGC is going to take notice to anybody is their bottom line dollar. When they see that bottom line dollar figure start coming down and down, then they'll start paying attention. But I mean, to me, until then, you know, they're just going to keep dictating to you, and whether you like it or not, they don't care. You know,
the biggest problem, though, Tony, with CGC is they've interwoven themselves so much into the comic community. Overstreet is no longer the main source of judgment regarding what is what. CGC has become that. And now that they've destroyed themselves with their lack of transparency, where do you fall back to? Overstreet, this is dovetails to another conversation that it stuns me that Overstreet never got into the 21st century. There's no website, no communication with these people. They were the arbiter of what was what in the comic world. Now that CGC has gone to the wayside, what do we do?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I could probably go on a little rant here about about this subject, Dan, because you know, to me, Overstreet was always, like you said, in my era, in my time, even, you know, I mean, they're still coming out with their price guide. They still come out with their, you know, their grading guide. So to me, you know, I've always held them to the standard. I never held CGC to a standard, because guess what? They don't tell me what their standards are. So I don't trust you if you're not telling me how you're getting to that number, right? So you want to, you want to say, well, what do you fall back on? Why doesn't Overstreet do this? You know, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, you know, they still, again, like I said, they still put out their guide. They still have, you know, if you look in the price guide, they do, you know, interviews with this one and that one in the, you know, in the grading industry or whatever. But again, you know, when these companies aren't telling you how they come to a number, okay, and we are, okay, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, right? I mean, this is it. You know, we tell you, look, this is how we certify. You yourself can go out and buy a book, you know, and study that book inside and out, and you could then read our grader's notes and see how we came up with that grade. But at least we're letting you know that's how we got to our number, and it's up to you if you want to go buy a book and study or not, right? But at least we're letting you know. So Dan, you know, to your point, where do we go or whatever? Listen, I don't know. You know, I know that this is how we certify. Whether the other companies want to do the same thing, that's their business, right? But what really gets me, Dan, is, and I'm sorry if I go on a little rant here, guys.
You're good. You're good.
But I think one thing I wish that people would stop doing is trying to compare the way one grading company grades to another and say this one's better than this one, or this one overgrades, this one undergrades. Guys, there is no fact or basis to make a claim like that. You can't say somebody is grading better or less better than another if everybody's getting to that number differently. Okay? So guess what? An E.G.S grade isn't going to be a CGC grade. A CGC grade isn't going to be a CBCS grade. A CBCS grade isn't going to be a PGX grade. Why? Not because the guys don't know how to grade people. It's because they're using different standards to get to that number. Mm-hmm. So how do you expect everything to be the same? Or how can you pass judgment about who's grading better or worse? What are you basing it on? Are you basing it on a CGC grade? Oh, well, CGC would have gave this an 8.5, or CBCS would have gave it a 9.2. Well, okay, but do you know how they got to the 9.2? Do you know how they got to the 8.5? Because that's not the way we get to our number. So how are you expecting our grade to be the same as theirs, better or worse in your estimation, right? You could only say, well, I'm used to CGC grading, so this book should be this grade. Well, you're basing it on what? You're basing it on what? A standard that you don't even know how to use or what they're using, right? So that always gets me because it's baseless, right? So I'll say this, and I might be defending all the other grading companies out there when I say this, because I'm truthful when I speak. And I will say this, guys. I don't care what grading company you are, myself, the rest of them out there. If you're a grader for one of those companies, you know how to grade a comic book. You know how to grade a comic book. There is not one grader that works for these companies that don't know how to grade a comic book. Okay? But what's different, right, is one, there's always going to be subjectivity, and two, they have different standards to get to their grades. So, there's no baseline, there's no fact. Now, if we all graded the same, if there was one universal standard that we all had to use to get to that grade, and PGX gives a book a 9.6, and somebody sends that same book and sends it to CGC and it's an 8.5, then you've got a point. Because guess what? If we're all grading it on the same standard, okay, then you might have a point, because there shouldn't be that much of a difference in grading if we're all using the same system to get to that number. But when we're all using different systems, how do you expect any grade to be anything alike? We grade every company grades their way and uses their standards. So it just gets me to all these people. Oh, I want to send a book to them, and I'm going to it's a test. I'm going to test to see this one or that one. What are you testing? We come to our own grade our way. If you don't like it and you think you know better and you want to say somebody else grades, fine, go ahead. But it's baseless and it's factless. There's no facts.
Tony, I've got two last questions for you with the time we have left. And you and I spoke off air, and we talked about something you probably can't comment on, and that's, if I've got these three comics here, I've got Avengers 1, 2, and 3. This is roughly under $5,000 or so. It's nerve-wracking as hell to send this, for one, because you love these comics, and as you said, they're very expensive, and also you have to insure them. That's the other component. But that's out of your hands. Now, you said there's not one service, whether it's UPS or FedEx or whatever, that you would recommend that would be more reliable than the other.
Yeah, they're all, I in my experience, there's really not anybody heads and shoulders over the other when it comes to that. Just, I always tell people, man, get the insurance. I mean, when it's out of your hands and out of our hands, I mean.
And the last question I have for you is that this is a bit of a controversy. This is the other book I'm going to be sending in, Hulk 180. Now, the one thing that bugs me, and this is going to probably stir up a little bit, and that's the word cameo. There is no such cameo is improperly used. If I say, hey, look, if I ask you to put first brief appearance, which is the proper way to describe it, is that something that you would put on your label, or is that something that the standard would, the grading standards would say, no, cameo is the accepted term in slabbing?
I mean, there's a lot of, listen, again, this is where I wish we had an oversight, right? To where somebody comes in, whether it's Overstreet or all of us grading companies get together, or, people in the industry get together, and they say, look, Hulk 180 is the first cameo, Hulk 181 is the first appearance. I mean, if we had that, it would be a very easy thing, Dan. But when you don't have that, again, it's up to, it's really up to us to put that information on the label. This is what I do, right? I mean, as far as the labels go, we're fine with, we're giving you the option for different colors and custom labels and stuff like that. So you can have your choice of that on the label. But we're, as far as the information goes, we're going to put the information that we feel should be on the label. So, if a customer says, hey, I want this to be the, like you said, a brief appearance instead of a cameo or whatever. I mean, if it's a cameo, if we believe it's a cameo, we're going to put cameo on it. Right. So that's really our job, is to put, we're certifying the book. We're putting what we believe is on the label. So, hey, we'll take requests for, how you want your label to look, right? We'll do that. But as far as like the information on the label, we come up with, with what we deem is right. And, I think we haven't had any problems yet. So, we're just going to keep doing that. And, as far as that goes, I hope that it kind of answers your question. And I know there's another question. Somebody
go ahead, John.
Yep,
yeah. So my question isn't going to be as difficult as Dan's question about 180 and 181. But does E.G.S have a census and as something that's accessible?
Okay. So as of now, we don't.
Okay.
But we will in the future. That's definitely something that we want to have. Right now, we can't. We just don't have we don't have enough books right now to make a census, right? I mean, you need a good library of books, but we also don't have the time or the money at the moment to do it at this time. But that is something that we are going to add in the future for sure. That's a definite yes. And again, I'll go back to when we get these cases, we're going to be able to do so much more. It's really gonna get us to the next level, because we're finally going to be able to grow and expand, because now we're going to be making the profit that everybody else is making, to where right now we're making maybe half as much, because of the product we're using. So, when our new slabs come in, we're going to be making double in profit, and it's going to take us half the time to slab a book, and you guys are going to be getting a better product. So it's a win-win for everybody. Then once that happens, now we're going to be able to do the things and grow and expand, and we'll be able to do a census, right? Another thing that we're looking into doing sooner than later is maybe getting, when you log in, or you would log into the website, and you would be able to track your book through the whole process, so you can kind of see where it's at, because we don't have that right now. All we do is, we email you when we get the books, we send the invoice, and then we email you when they're done with the tracking information. So in between, we don't have a tracker to let people know. Now we meet our turnaround time, but I think a lot of people have asked and want to be able to actually maybe see that, hey, my book's in grading, or my book's still processing, or my book is in encapsulation, or my book is in shipping right now, so they could actually see it. So again, time and money, but that's another thing where we want to get better and expand. So
I have one more question.
Yeah, go right ahead.
As far as signature series is concerned, do you verify signatures, or how does that work?
We do. We verify signatures with or without a COA, guys. Then that's an important thing. There's been some stuff that people have put out there which is totally untrue, saying, oh, E.G.S, they verify a signature with a COA. That's not true. That is 100% false. A COA is optional. If you want to send us a COA, that's fine. That's your option. But we're going to verify the signature anyway. Whether you send the COA or you don't, it's getting verified.
Tony, explain what a COA is.
A certificate of authenticity.
Okay, all right.
So if you have one and you want to send it with your books, that's fine. But we're not going to authenticate the signature just by a COA. We authenticate, not using the COA. But if you want to send us the COA, that's fine. And we just send it back, with the books. It's optional. But, there's been some stuff going around that people want to say, oh, E.G.S verifies through COAs. You just send them a COA and they verify a signature. Not true. So it's an option. So just wanted to get that.
Do you guys have any other questions? Go ahead, Effie.
I'm sorry. When are these new cases coming in? Do you know?
August. It's looking like August. Sometime in August, either probably middle to end of August, we should have them. We should have them in house.
Okay.
Well, let's look at what one of your slabs look like right now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let me add this. There you go.
Yeah.
So tell us about it, Tony.
Yep. So, all right. So basically, what you're seeing is, obviously, this is somebody wanted. That's a solid red label. So you're looking at, a certified E.G.S 9.8 with an E.G.S red label. So that book is just popping, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's your COA that comes with it, which will have the name of the book, the grade, the date it was graded, and there's your what we found for your defects are all right there. So there's no you don't have barcodes to try to hit, and then it takes you to another thing. I mean, it's right there. When you get the slab, this is it. And this COA is transferable. So when you sell the book or whatever, the COA would go with the book. Now, we do, again, because we, are planning on having a census, we do have a database where, if this COA, somebody bought it, but the guy lost the COA, they can call us and we'll have this in our database and we can send them out another COA. So, but yeah, so basically, as you could see, look at, I mean, the difference between that book. I mean, imagine that book in a regular CBCS blue label or CGC blue label. I mean, who wouldn't? To me, who wouldn't want our book opposed to theirs? I mean,
So, Ian, can you big screen me?
Got you.
Just for transparency, that is actually my book. That's the one. That's the same book. So I actually love these cases, and these things really pop. The picture that we're sending really doesn't do it justice. You have to see these in person, and I'm really looking forward to your. Yeah, that is damn solid. And I'm really looking forward to your next generation slab, because that's one of the criticisms currently. But you're going to be fixing that, later on this year. But I think you're off to a damn good start. And we're running on the timetable here because we've got to get to our regular show. Yep. Tony, love having you on. Thank you so much. We'd love to have you on again because there's a lot more to talk about. I'm certain the panel has more questions and the chat's going to have questions. So again, we want to be respectful of your time because it's midnight where you are on the East Coast.
Yep.
So
yep, it is. But hey, guys, I appreciate you having us on. It's always a pleasure when I get to chop it up with people in the community and people in the comments, and anytime we can get E.G.S out there to more people, to let people know that there's another option out there and what we do, man. I mean, I'm all for it. So I appreciate you guys having me on, and we'll definitely do it again, maybe when the new slabs get here. We'll do.
That'll be awesome.
Well, you and I will talk again, Tony, because we talked off air that I'm gonna send my books into you. We're gonna do an unboxing, maybe on this show or another show, and we'll go from there. But I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. I think I'm sending books to you too, Tony. I'm gonna send a couple to get that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, those slabs look great, man. Like they're solid.
Well,
they're really sweet.
They're good, but the new ones are going to be better. But there's really, a lot of people really just had problems with the hinges on the top and the side rails on the bottom. And I mean, it is it's much thinner than a normal slab. So, I mean, it is what it is. So we've decided, look, we were going to make our own cases anyway. I mean, it was always the plan, right? So why not, come out with something that's going to be more in line of what the other guys' slabs, look like, right? Mm-hmm. And also listen, there's these slabs are they're a real pain for us to make them good enough, right? To make the security good enough to present and for people to use. I mean, it's a lot of time and money that goes into it, to where now when we have our own slabs, that all goes away.
Right.
Right. Plus, these kind of, there's the Newton ring issue. Some of these, some of these slabs get Newton rings a lot. So, the new slabs, we'll take care of that. So
that's awesome, man. I hate the Newton rings, man.
I know, man. But like I said, we had to do what we had to do, to get the door open. So, guaranteed question. Our new stuff's gonna be hot. So
go ahead, Efren.
Sorry, I have one more question. Are you guys on Instagram?
Yes, we are.
Good.
We're E.G.S Comics on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We have the YouTube channel. So we're very easy to get a hold of, guys. Customer service is our #1 priority. So look, you can DM us, you can email us, you could call the shop. I mean, we're very easy to get a hold of. You can get your questions answered, no problem, by somebody who's actually here, and not from another country. So, that's a pretty big deal. So feel free, any questions, man, just, again, email us or DM us on our social media or call us.
Hey, man, if you pick up the phone or you reply to my email, you got a customer.
Yeah, man. Because... believe it or not, that's we do. So we believe that that you guys, that's what you guys deserve, right? I mean, again, that's part of the whole game, man. It's your money, your hard-earned money. So we better be picking up the damn phone, and we better be responding to emails and DMs and the whole 9 yards, man, because it's you that support us, right? It's not the other way around. It's you guys that make us. We need you, not the other way around. So, we that is our number one staple is our customer service. So,
Tony, what's your website?
it's EGScomicsgrading.com. So comics
Okay.
with an S.
And your email is egscomics@yahoo.com?
It is. Yes.
Okay, very good.
All that's on the yep. And if you go to the website, all our our information and links and everything are on the website. So.
Yep, and the website's in the description as well.
Yeah.
Chat and rewind if you guys want to check that out. Just
Yeah.
click on it and you take you right there in the description.
Yep. Hey, Dob, thank you for the follow, man.
Okay.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Tony, we can't thank you enough for coming on the show tonight. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Yeah,
you
thank
guys
for
take
coming.
care.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Tony.
Yeah, have a good
Have a
night.
good night.
Thank you too.
Wow, that was interesting, man. That was really
That
interesting.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was very interesting, man. That was very interesting.
I'm not even a slab type person, but I absorbed a lot of that knowledge.
Yeah.
we got a lot of people that jumped in, man. So let's say what's up to the chat, man. And they had a lot of good things to say, man. We have a new follower too, man. Lady Fantastic. Thank you for coming through. We appreciate it.
Come out and play.
And we got Ronnie Boy Comics, man.
Yeah.
He's first time he's
What's up,
jumping
Ronnie?
in over here. Ronnie's in the house,
Sorry,
man.
out of fireworks.
And we got Comic Ozzy in the house,
Oh.
man. And man, we got Rob in the house. What's up, Rob, man? Hyper decided to show up, man. What's up, Hype? Dab's in the house, man. And then we got is that black behind that? Is that black? Is that black?
That's face. That's FaceTime.
That's face.
Yeah,
Face. What's
that's
up,
Face.
What's up, Face? We got Face in the house, man. And let me see here. I think we got Rudy in the house too. We got Rudy in the house, man. It's late but here, Comic Compadre. What's up, Rudy? And then we got James in the house, man, with that awesome comment there, man.
Yeah,
That awesome comment. I love that comment. Let me see here. We got Craig. And check this out, man. So Craig said he's been waiting 9 months. I have a 48 and 49 and a 180 I sent last May. So I'm over a year now, man. Like, I'm
Wow.
over a year by a month, dude. Like, and I didn't get. I emailed CGC. I haven't got a response. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying.
That is crazy.
If you respond to my email or pick up the telephone, like, you got a customer, man. So
Yeah.
I might have to be shopping for a new grading company, man.
I just don't get why people keep on going back to them.
I'm not. Man.
I'm not gonna say anything about anybody doing that, but I'm not. I'm done.
Oh yeah, man. Jeez, it's a year and a half, man.
With your money.
And I probably have over $16,000 worth of books with those 3 books over there, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you think about it that way, man, like
Didn't you insure your stuff getting sent out, or
I did it, man. I did it. So
Wow.
No, I was curious.
I heard they have like another warehouse and they're losing books over there. You're like,
way.
Like that's why you're not getting your books, because it's like lost. Like, you remember Indiana Jones? And they
just rolled it out, and it's like whatever it is.
It's like it's gone somewhere, bro. Like the Holy Grail. Like it's somewhere, dude.
It's in another dimension.
Hey, Ian, they got the books though, right?
Yeah, they got the books. It says they got the books, but man, it's somewhere in the antiques in row M3.
What was that thing in that movie? Now you got me thinking about what that thing was.
It's Indiana Jones. Oh, it's the art.
Yeah. The Ark of the Covenant. There we go. That's right.
Remember at the end where they took the art and they put it like somewhere.
Yes.
Every time I think about my books, I'm like, that's what's going on with my books, man.
Yeah.
We got Kevin in the house too, man. What's up, Kevin?
I have books there since June of last year.
Wow.
Damn.
Look at that, man. Craig has 33 books waiting to get created, bro. It's crazy, man. And we got Steezy.
They don't have the manpower anymore.
Yeah, we got Jess. But they got the manpower to make everything a blue label, right? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yes, that's right.
That's all I'm saying, man. But hey, man, that was awesome, man. That's awesome. Dan, that was all Dan. Dan got Tony on the show, man. And
my pleasure.
We were looking forward to that all week, man. We were like, dude, it's gonna be awesome, man. It's gonna be awesome. So and Steezy says, how we doing, man? We're doing great, man. Like you should check out the rewind, man. We just talked with with Tony from E.G.S, man. I think I'm actually gonna send like 3 books out there, man. I got 3 books that I don't want to send to CGC. I'm just pissed, man. So you know, we should start our own West Coast grading company here. And I think James had talked about that too. Like, let's start our own West Coast grading company. Like, you know, like, but you know, that's
the West Coast Avengers coming together.
Hey,
all
West
right,
Coast Illuminati.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. All right, guys, let's get to the show, man. And thank you again. And that was part of the show too. But let's get back to the regular scheduled program. And thank you, Tony, for coming on. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
We got Efren in the house, man. So Efren's got a couple picks, but I'm gonna go first. And I should add this first because this is my book right here, man. Wonder Man number 3, right? Yeah. You know why I'm picking this, man? Because I don't know how I have that Wonder Man number 1, but it's in my long box. I was like, what the hell? I got this. Like, what was I thinking when I got this book, bro? But you know, like, if you think about it, that number 1 was a $1 book on last Thursday. And you'll see, man. I'm serious, bro. And you'll see as we move on with the show, it's a $30 book now. So why are you gonna buy a book that was worth $1 on Thursday for $30 on a Monday? You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, man, like, instead of going after that number 1, or, you know, I mean, the first appearance is a Silver Age book, right? So everybody's kind of, you know, going to the first number 1 of the first run of Wonder Man. Why don't you just go to number 3? Why don't you just go to number 3? Because it's $1. It's actually a $1 book that could be worth $30, right?
I'm trying to complete this run too because I'm a huge Wonder Man fan.
Dude, if you're a Wonder Man fan, I got a ton of them, bro. I have no understanding why I picked up a collection. It's the whole runs in there, bro. And no one wanted it before. So it's like, but check this out, man. So this is the first appearance of Gamma Burn. And I want to be transparent, like, you know, grading companies should be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no idea what Wonder Man is, right? But I am an investor, and I like to have return. So I'm looking at the first appearance of Gamma Bird. But the one thing I'm looking at is the first appearance of Spider, Wonder Man's sidekick. We're probably going to get Spider. You know what I'm saying? Just because it didn't show up on an alert yet. And I got this. I got this screenshot from the Purple Yoda. But because we didn't get alert yet, you should be going after all these minor keys around Wonder Man that you can buy for a damn $1. Look, the damn book's worth $1, dude. Like, there's nothing graded, 0. And look, the $1's like, look, 69 cents. You could have a book that could possibly be worth 15 to 20 times your investment if you just don't pay attention to the Purple Yoda and buy all the little keys around it. Because I guarantee, what was that? What was that? The troll for what's his name? Warlock. Remember that? Remember the troll? What's his name? The Piper. Troll the Piper. Whatever his name is. That damn $1 book, bro. Now it's like a $60 book. If you would have just like shopped around with all the damn keys, you could have had a $60 return. So this is my gift to y'all for if you want to possibly, most likely, sidekick, most possibly a $15 to $20 return, maybe even a $30 return, or you could be like pipe the troll and get a $60 return, man. But that's just me. I'm just trying to pass on the love, man. And I'm passing the mic over to my boy Ja. Go ahead, Ja.
Before you pass the mic to me, go check out those comments in the chat, man.
Yes, please. Shout out to Lady.
Okay. Let me see here, man. Rudy said, West Coast grading, bro. And he's raw dog for life. There's a bunch of Wonder Man issues from that run at my half price book. Just buy it, man. Gamma Burn. What a name. I have no idea who Gamma Burn is, but it's a sidekick that I was looking at. Who's next? Skidmark, man. Then Gamma Burn sounds like a venereal disease, bro. And
no.
And why did you let this get so bad? The doc said to me as he looked at my Gamma Burn, man. And we got Chef in the house. Man.
Hey, Chef.
But I'm just saying, man. And just the comic market is so damn crazy. Why not you just get a 69 cents book? and just say, hey, man, I'm going to leave it in a long box for a little bit and just sit on it for the purple Yoda alert, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do. But look at Comic Roast, man. There you go. Yeah, they're roasting Gamma, whatever her name's, Gamma Burn, man.
Gamma who?
Yeah.
Gamma who? Go ahead, John.
Okay, so so this one is actually the wrong one, but
Sorry, man.
it's all good, man. There's a version of this comic book. It's the press preview edition, and it's extremely hard to find. And that was supposed to be the one that's on here. At the very top, it should say press. What does it say? Exclusive press copy.
Oh, right here.
I
remember that. Right. Yep.
And that was only available at a Star Cruiser luxury hotel to the people that came into that hotel.
Dang.
And to be honest, I've only seen it a couple of times, so I just thought that particular issue that's really hard to find. This one's more common, of course, but the press release edition is extremely hard to find, and if you can find that. I think that has a lot of room to move because it's just.
I remember that, man. I remember that press one. I'm looking for it right now, man.
Yeah.
See again.
Okay.
You know, I know Drunk Wookie has it, man. There we go. So check this out, man. Let me pull this one up. Drunk Wookie. If you ever want your Star Wars, stuff, or you feed your Star Wars cravings, you got to go to Drunk Wookie, man. His website. He's over on Instagram too. Let me share this, man. Let me share this real quick. I'm gonna stop sharing that one. I'm gonna share this one. So, I got to give Jaws on to something, man. Right here, man. I like this one. I didn't even think about that, bro. So here we go. So there you go, man. There you go.
Yeah.
So look at that, man. So there's the exclusive press copy right there. So that's the kind of one you want to get after, right?
Yep. It was left in the hotel rooms. For the reporters or whoever was staying there at that time to cover this particular comic. Who knows how many made it out? Who knows, what kind of condition they're in. So I just thought it would be something that for people to keep their eye out. Might come across one day.
Wow.
You know what? I'm gonna look up. Give me a second, man. I'll look at what it's going. If there's anything on eBay about it, man, because I'm interested in that one too, man. So let me do some.
He's gonna go bid on it right now.
Let me do some research here, man. Press copy.
Wait, I'm looking at buy. Ian said buy it now. Okay, he's got it.
No.
Legacy.
Buy.
Bro, I try to bid one and then watch it be gone. Like bam, right out. Someone on the show is gonna snipe me, man. So let me see here. Let me see. My internet's kind of it's not even on here, dude.
No,
it's a ghost, bro.
Man. Maybe there might be one.
Let me see. So yeah, that's funny, man. A reporter's like, I'm gonna sell this. Oh, damn, bro. Okay, all right, man.
I'll assume that was a pricey book.
That's a pricey book, bro. Let me see here.
Well, I bet you if somebody has one, they probably don't know what it's worth or how rare it is.
Where is my eBay here? There it is, right there. Okay, there you go, man. There you go. So sell for $500.
Yeah.
Look at that. $500 plus $15 shipping, $375.
Wow.
So 3 of them sold, man. None of them sold since April. Yeah, so that's it. That's a ghost, man.
It's a ghost, yeah.
It's a ghost. That's like the one they had over at the the Star Wars land, right? Remember that one, the Millennium Falcon one?
Oh yeah,
yeah. They gave it to all the engineers, and that one goes for like over 1,000, couple thousands, man.
That one's crazy. That's where you're looking out of the Millennium Falcon, and you see like I don't know what you're looking at in front, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But that's what I'm saying. There's only 3 of these sold, right? So there has to be a reporter who has no idea what comic book this is. Like there has to be someone who doesn't even know what they have, right? This guy looks like he knew. This guy looked like, because if you look at it, like it's the same picture, right? So this guy was just kind of running around the Halcyon, whatever, the cruise, over at Disney World. It was like, yo, I know what this is, so I'm just gonna try to ask everybody, do you want that book? I'll take that book. So it looks like he got maybe 2 of them, So good on you, man.
John, do you have any idea for print run for this?
I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't. But it was only in the hotel. I don't know how many rooms are in the hotel or how many they might have had extras. I don't know. But I've only like this. I've only seen 3 of them on eBay like this.
Wow.
Oh man, look the Kevin. Look, okay, I'm gonna go to the comments, man, because we got Tacoma comics in here. But look at not near me. Drunk Wookie is a little too CG for me, bro. So here we go. Star Wars is for nerds, bro. And in other words, everyone is into Star Wars except me. You know, Lady Fantastic. Let me take you to Star Wars Celebration. I'll make you a fan. Someone sold for $400. None are listed, but a couple sold, man. Because Star Wars fans, I now just a casual Star Wars fan. Yep, it's the same thing that we talked about last time, man. All these little haters, man. These Star Wars haters. Man.
Oh yeah.
The cost of one night per stand at the hotel, bro. It costs you like $2,000 for a weekend, right? At that thing, like
never.
It's probably more than that, like $5,000.
I don't care how much money I got.
I know, bro. It's a dream, man. Once a person shows up in the show, it's a wrap, man. And then wasn't it $5K for one? It is. It's $5K. I think it's $5K for like maybe
insane.
a weekend or something, bro.
Is this like a high class hotel or?
It's like an experience. Like you go in there and it's like it's a total
like
immersion.
Start floating.
I'll give Disney this one, right? No. I'll give Disney this because if you guys ever rode the what's it called, that new ride, the Rise of the Republic, you guys rode the Rise of the Republic yet?
Yes,
dude. That immersion. The first time you go into it, you're like, holy shit, they went all out. Because I feel like I'm in like Star Wars here,
Well, it looks like you are literally on a professional Star Wars set.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
When I walked out there, so what happens is they put you in this little box, right? And then you watch Rey talk, and then they open the doors. And if you're there at night and there's a moon, it looks like you're on another planet, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And you're just outside. You're just outside, dude. You're outside, and then they take you in the ship. And then the ship takes off, bro. You're like, what the fuck? And then they open the door because it lands on like a Star Destroyer, and you walk out, and they're all mean, man. All the employees are all dressed like admirals or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy.
And they're rude, and they're intentionally rude as hell, by the way. They don't hold that. The actors and actresses are pretty good on that set, and so they're going to give you crap. And so the worst thing to do is mouth off at them because they'll rip into you.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
But all I'm saying is that if I'm gonna pay $5,000 a night for my Star Wars adventure, I better get more than what I better get something in return other than a bed to sleep on, man. But you gotta give it to Disney though, man. When they say immersion, they really go all out, man, with the immersion. You know what I'm saying? So, but great pick anyway. I know I sidetracked with it, man, because I'm just giving them props because the Rise of the Republic. It is a freaking badass ride, dude. It's an awesome ride, man. It's worth your money. You know what I'm saying? Except you got to do all the little tricks now on your phone to get on. So, but other than that, man, it's a great ride. But that's not the prices. It's about a $500 book with the press on the top. You guys saw that, man. But John, nice pick, man. And sorry for messing up your slide, bro.
It's all good.
Apologize, man. You know what I'm saying? So, next up is if my slide will move over, I'll do it right now. Is my man, Kirk. What you got, Kirk?
We got Champions number 11. It's not a key issue, but it's a significant issue for me because this is the first cover that Bob, I think his name Bob Layton did. I love his art. I'm a huge fan of X Factor and his work that he did with Iron Man. He's a great artist, and it just seems like we're losing great artists left and just creators left and right, and so if you want a piece of his history and his his art, I would get this book, and it's a reasonable price, $35 for a graded copy, $14 for this issue. And Champions is on the this series I feel is getting a little more expensive as times get further away from us. That's a nice way of me saying we getting older.
Yeah.
So if you haven't got, I'm trying to work on this Champions collection. This is definitely one of the first ones I'm trying to get. So
Bro,
I
let
definitely
me look
this
at my
one.
long boxes. I might have one for you, bro, because I have
Oh,
to
if
sign
you got it, let me
some
know.
details in there, dude.
I
You
love
know?
his artwork, dude.
That's an awesome one, man. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Dan.
I was going to say Bob Layton's best work was the Iron Man run. I mean, it was absolutely stellar
Yeah.
artwork because he was one of the best Iron Man illustrators in the business. He any armor, anything mechanical, he was outstanding with.
Yeah,
I
man.
agree.
And let's check out what the prices are here. You see it right here. Last recorded sale was $34.99. Let's see what the 9.8 sold. Only one 9.8 sold in 2021 for only $80, man. Look at that. 9.4 is only $40. I mean, if you ask me, man, I'll buy a 9.4 over a raw right now. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's wasn't great in 2022, right? As long as it wasn't great in 2022. So, I want to thank Tacoma Comics. He just gave us a sub, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate
we love you,
man.
Tacoma.
Yeah, man. We
Thank
love
you.
man. And then there you go with the prices. So check that out, man. So yeah, I mean you pick one up for $10, but I would pick up a 9.4 for $35 right there, man. I mean, right, guys? Seems like a better deal to me, you know?
If you're a slabber, then yeah, it's definitely a steal.
Yeah, but I mean, you're a reader, so you wouldn't get it, huh, Kurt? Because you want to read it too.
I get everything raw, so I can like read it.
Yeah, you want to read it and smell it.
Yeah.
That's nice. You know, that nice. You get the 70s smell, man. You know, like you know. So, no, I feel you, man. But great pick, man. Great pick. Moving on to Efren, man. What you got, F?
So I picked a book called Primos. This book came out this year. It's an indie book, and it's by AWA Upshot. I really like this book. I actually interviewed the writer Al Madrigal. He's from San Francisco, by the way. He was born and raised in San Francisco.
Really?
Yes, he's born and raised in San Francisco. Yeah. So I didn't even know that when I interviewed him. Well, I knew about it after I started looking into him a little bit more.
Did he say what part did he say where he grew up at? Was it
part of the Mission District? But I know he went to St. Ignatius High School. Because he told me about that, and he's a big time Giant fan and Warrior fan and all that stuff.
Oh, bro, as long as he's a Warrior fan, right?
Yeah. So we were talking about this book, and I said, "Gosh, you know, it's such a great series. It's just one of four." And then we started going on to it. He goes, it may be some things are coming. It's going to be a continuation of this story. You know, just the one of four is going to bring in more. Primos means cousins in Spanish, and they're going to bring in more characters. And the next time this book comes out. And, you know, he's always saying, I can't say anything more, but it could be a movie or TV, you know, a TV show, something like that. So that's why I picked this book.
Awesome, man. I need to read this one, man. I like the cover, dude.
Yeah,
it's a great story.
Look at
it has
that,
to do with Aztec brothers, and it's a really good storyline. Yeah.
Yeah, the Aztec part right here is like, oh, that's sick, man. And
I really enjoy the series.
It looks like they got a little lightsaber going here, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I like it. What is the story? Yeah. I mean, what is the story of? How does it go?
So basically, these two Mayan brothers, centuries ago, they constructed a spacecraft that sent them hurling into space by these entities and other beings from other Earths who are also like Mayans. They came to learn, you know, to how to improve their race. But when they came back to Earth, something happened, and they came back in present time. It's like a Cain and Abel story. One of the brothers is pissed off because their race has basically been extinct. You know, it's not around anymore. So he's trying to get revenge on mankind. But the other brother's saying, hey, we got to help these people, you know, progress, you know, to be enlightened. And then they find their relatives, and that's where the Primos come in to fight against one of the brothers.
No, that's interesting, man. I went to I traveled around the Mayan province, man, and
I want to go.
Dude, it was sick, man. Yeah. But there are like, it's crazy, man. I'm gonna show you guys this thing here because I don't know, man. I'm just kind of getting out there today. You know what I'm saying? So I went and saw this at one of the ruins at Planke, right? And they're saying this dude was actually like, I'm gonna blow this up because I want you guys to see this. That this guy was a space traveler, man. Because check this out. This thing was like sculpted, like you know, something a couple hundred years after AD, right? Let me share this with you guys. I know I'm getting out there, man, but this should trip me out, bro. When I see
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I seen
this. I seen the actual sculpture, and if you see it, his legs are kind of like on a pedal, and he's kind of driving something, and he's going up. You know, like how would you think about something like that way back then when there was you had no idea about driving anything when everybody was just riding horses and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it kind of blew my mind, man. Because like
aerodynamics was not like a thing.
That
people, supposedly.
They didn't have Star Wars like us that to fill our imagination. Like, where was this? I mean, either they had a really creative.
Where's your nerds at?
Either they had a really creative imagination. Or they were like, or they actually like space traveled and came back. And I think that's probably what his influence. I would love to like interview him, man, and because there's a
he's a nice guy,
dude. There's a lot of different sculptures, around the Yucatan that are exactly like that. So it kind of has you wondering, man, like
in all parts of culture. Huh?
Yeah, dude, it's
very true.
Crazy. Yeah, man. But great pick, man. You got me wanting to read this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I kind of want to read this now too.
I know, man. It kind of seems like I smoked some weed or took mushrooms today, but I didn't, man. I just
stupid.
It's $2, man. You get this for cover, man. Cover for sure.
Oh yeah, nice.
I'm definitely gonna go look for this now, F. For reals, man. And
Uptown is a really good company. They put out a lot of good books.
Yeah.
And if you
I love indie books now.
If you're interested in that little theory that I have, or that theory that Mayans were space travelers, it's on YouTube, man, and it'll trip you out, man. Like if you really want to have like a chill day, you know what I'm saying, after, with some cold brews, go check that stuff out, man. But let's get to trending our freezer pick.
Yeah, do the freezing dance.
So we're doing the freezer picks. Man. These are books that are pretty cool that you might want to like buy for your collection, buy for an investment, or buy to trade. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, man. These are good books that are on sale. So my pick, man. I can't believe we never thought about this one, right? Like the first John Constantine, man. Like
it's always on my mind. I want that book.
I love this book, man. I love this book, and it boggles my mind that it's still like under $300, man. I remember when I first started knowing John Constantine was when Keanu Reeves played him. Remember that, man? It was actually a decent movie.
I didn't know that was a comic book movie.
I know, bro. It was good, man. And you're having Disney starting to do all this mystic stuff, right? This, they're really, really, everything's the last two. Doctor Strange is all mysticism, right? And we know like everybody likes to copy each other in the comic book industry, man, and in the movie industry. So what's not to say that someday DC will step up their game, and hopefully after Black Adam, because Black Adam looks pretty good, and start bringing some mystic warriors, man. Bring some mystic warriors like our man John Constantine, who has it all, who's a really good like a wizard, but like to use his head, not the magic, right? Like this could be. I think this book is really good. I won't lie, man. Like people skip this book all the time when you're looking through collections. Like for some reason, like no one looks at the DC stuff. Like no one ever looks at the DC stuff. Yeah. The first place I go to DC and I look for this book. I go to the S section and I'm looking for Swamp Thing number 37. I'm looking for Swamp Thing number 36, 35, 38. You know what I'm saying? Because they're always there. So, if you ever, run into a collection and everybody's going to Marvel, go to DC, man. Go to DC and pick up some good ones. Because you might even find this, because I have like 2 or 3 copies of this, man, that I bought for like $1 to $5, And that was that one collection, John, that I told you to come, bro. Remember that one day? It was like a year ago, man. Yeah, this guy had some good stuff, man. Yeah, man, you can buy this for under $300, man. It is a $2,000 book, at a 9.8. And this book has a lot of legs, man. That's a pretty cheap price. The prices drop like everything else. Everything else is pretty much on, like nowadays, everything is pretty much on sale, man. In 2022. So you can see the prices we're at. Look at that, man. $2,600. They dropped to $1,925 now for a 9.8. You know what I'm saying? The prices that are going right now for a raw, you can get it for $200. $200 for someone bought an 8.0 for $200. A grade 8.0. So really good book, really good price. You know what I'm saying? Get ahead of the game, man. Because I really do think, man, if Black Adam can step it up, man, that DC's back in the game. You know what I'm saying? So let's see, man. But I'm gonna pass the mic over to Jaw. Go ahead, Jaw.
All right. So there's two reasons why I picked this book. The first first pick is it's a Tim Sale book, and we lost Tim Sale this last week. Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale have made probably some of the best comic stories that I've ever read. They're my favorites. It's not only Long Halloween, it's Dark Victory, it's Hulk Gray, Daredevil Yellow, Spider-Man Red, White, and Blue, I believe.
Captain America White.
Yep. And those stories are some of the best stories, and the art is some of the best art that I've ever seen. Long Halloween is actually my favorite Batman miniseries. It's a lot of people's actually, and so it's something that goes under the radar sometimes. And sometimes it pops up. Recently, it did because of the Batman movie. But I think it's just something that every collector should own, whether it's in a graphic novel or individual copies. And that's why I wanted to feature this one. Rest in peace to a wonderful artist, Tim Sale.
I totally agree with you, brother.
Go ahead, Kirk. Tell him, man. Tell him what's up, man. I know you read this one. I know it's one of your favorites too, man.
Yeah, you already know.
Heard you digging, Kurt. I know you got comics in your hand. Look at him digging away.
It's somewhere in my Scotty Young pile, but yeah, well, not the Tim Sale book. I don't have that one. I wish I had this one, but I'm looking for my book that I was going to show.
Yeah, man. But no, man. But I think you picked a great one too. John, it's funny, man. We never picked DC books, bro. We went 2 DC books in a row. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. And then we had indie book from Efren. So we're kind of like 3 in a row, like no Marvel, man. That's good, man. So check out, man. So this book with nuts, right? This book with nuts. So this is the 9.8s. Is it? Yeah, I think so. I think these are the 9.8s right here. But this book went kind of nuts when the Batman movie came out. So I'm gonna show you what happened in October. So this was about a $70 book back in October, right? You guys see all that? Now it's down to, $50, $60. Maybe you could buy one for $45, man. Someone got lucky and bought one for $7.
No.
Or $40, So, I mean, I haven't read it, John. I almost got the set. It was at a comic book shop and it was on the rack. And the guy realized what he had, and now they are.
No. Oh.
They get a trade paperback or what have you. They have all 13 issues. That's what I would do.
No,
it's a great read, man.
I bet, man. The movie was awesome.
It's on my list to read.
How close was it to the movies, man? To the movies? Okay. All right,
that for a conversation next time.
No, so I gotta read it. So I'll read it, man. I'll read it. So, look, man. Bizzle said, "Buy the trade, man."
Yep.
Yeah.
Buy the trade, man. There you go.
Hot and cool.
All right.
What's up, man?
He's here, bro. Hot and cool, man. We gotta get hot and cool on the show.
Yes, we do.
Bro.
That's a wealth of knowledge right there, man. I'm telling you.
I know, man. We keep inviting him, bro. He keeps dissing us, man. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
And then Kirk, man, you got a good one, bro. I like this one too.
Oh yeah, so Strange Academy. I'm like I said, I'm biased. I'm a huge Scotty Young fan, but I also love when he writes, and I definitely agree with Rob. Like, he talks about it all the time. Like, Scotty Young he's a great artist, but he's an even more phenomenal writer that needs to stick to write. I mean, do your art, do your thing. I'm still gonna buy it, but stick to the writing because he's a great writer. And this book, even though it's definitely like pricey and slab, but if you get it raw, like you can still find like decent prices. I have 2 copies. I have like that copy, this one that you're showing right now, and I have, of course, the Scotty Young cover.
Yeah, man. I think the only one I need is the Spotlight one. The Spotlight one.
Yeah, that's the one I.
That's the only one I. Bro,
but no, honestly, the number 2 is the best one with the character that's Dormammu's son.
That one.
Doyle.
Thank you. I'm bad with names.
And you know what? An interesting thing about this one too, right? Is this based in New Orleans? This is based in
Yes.
New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and you guys know where they're. Okay, John already lives. John knows where I'm going, right? Right?
Where?
Because
Where?
they're filming Blade in New Orleans, man. You know,
No, don't tell me,
bro.
that.
They are,
Don't
bro, and they're
tell
saying,
me that.
bro, and they're saying
No.
Brother Voodoo might be that he makes more sense than Gambit to me. He just makes more sense than Gambit, bro.
I
What if,
agree.
bro? What
They
if?
haven't even introduced mutants yet.
What if he was? I mean, you know, what if they retro the story? I'm just fucking around, bro. I took mushrooms today. What if they messed around, bro? And they took Blade as, you know, Blade was a little kid, and he came from an academy, man, called Strange Academy. I don't know, bro.
Oh, no.
You know, I don't know. You know, like I'm just throwing shit out there, man. You know what I'm saying?
I could hear the reviews now on Instagram.
I know, bro. But hey, man,
What
if it
were
ever
they thinking?
Yeah.
if it ever happens, bro, y'all making fun of me now, but if it ever happens, bro, like, man, you're gonna be like, man, they're gonna be like, we need to take shrooms like Hood, man. I'm telling you, man. You know, so
Been there, done that.
you know, man. But this is I like to pick, man. All these Strange Academies, man.
Nice.
It's very Disney Plusy, you know, Disney Plusy, you know, like I mean, I don't with what they're doing with Miss Marvel, I could see this coming up as you know,
Yeah.
so you know,
Absolutely.
it would be such a great show too,
Yeah.
you know.
Whether it was live action or animated, it would be still great.
It would, man. And look at the 9.8s for $400. Yeah, I mean they're dropping too. Look, 311, man. Like, look at that. Prices just dropping everywhere, right? You know, it's crazy, man. But I couldn't find the prices on the service I use, so I just did this. So the highest raw sales were about 420, 206, 202 for that cover A. The lowest were $80, $76, $61. You know, so
Thanks.
and there you go, man. That's the most recent buys, man, right there. June 20th, it sold for $100, and June
Still
19th.
doing pretty good. Yeah.
I think somebody knows what I'm thinking. Look at that, guys. Okay, Instagram and YouTube.
We're getting young Blade.
We're getting a young Blade, bro. We're getting a young Blade, bro. You know what I'm saying? You
It'd be
know,
like young Link. He just grows up in like 3 years.
you know. But that would be wrong, though, right? Because we all know Blade is from London, you know, from England. Yeah, that would be wrong.
From Detroit.
Bro, he wasn't he like he was from England. He was from England.
No, he was born in the United States. I remember his mom.
Where am I coming
His
from?
mama was from the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did he end up in England? I don't know, man. Help me out, man, guys, man.
I mean, there's a
thought
lot
he
of vampires out there. He's probably
I know,
hunting
right?
some
I know,
vampires
man.
out there. And werewolves.
All right. Okay, man. Great pick, man. And I'm gonna do my Blade history, man. I don't know, man. I don't know where I got that from. So I'm gonna do my Blade read up and what do you got? What do you got, F, for your
What book is
pick?
this?
I'm picking this book, but I'm not talking about the higher grades. I'm talking about the lower grades. You know, the 1.5s, the 2.0s, that has gone down in price. You know, obviously 9.8s, 9.0s are always going to be high priced books. You know, I'm talking about now's the time. I've been reading articles too that, you know, how all these books have been taking a dip. And people are saying now's the time to buy books that are like at a 1.5 or 1.0 of giant size X-Men, because the prices have gone down. And that's why I picked the freezer, not because of the 9.8s, but those prices are never probably going to go down, the higher grade ones.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, man.
That's
Let me
a
see,
great
man.
choice.
I know.
Mickey from Swaggle just grabbed one. He did a piece on that a couple weeks
That
ago.
was the book
He got a 1. He got a 1.8 low grade, but it had some water damage on the back, but it presented very, very well. He got a pretty good deal on it.
How much did he get it for? Did he say?
Oh, he didn't. Damn it, I can't remember what it was.
Bro, he probably got it pretty good. You know, I'm gonna look up the. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up, man. Because I didn't put up what the lower grades are going for. Let's see what the lower grades are going for. I'm pulling it up right now. Because I want.
You going to eBay?
No, I'm going to cover price because I'll have the recents.
Okay.
So let me see here, man. See all data. Let's see here. Let's see what the lower grades are going for here. I'm gonna pull it up over here in the. I'm gonna stop share this one.
Oh, I didn't know
While you're doing that,
Just-
props to Lady Fantastic. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm looking at. I'm reading that too. I'm like, I didn't know that. Born in Detroit, but like.
Yeah, he's Blade's from London, man. That's what I thought. Yeah.
By the
No,
way,
he's from Detroit.
In the movie, he's from Detroit. In the movie, I think, right?
He hangs out in London.
Look, man, Blade was born in Detroit and was on the run most of the years in UK.
There's
That's where I got
else
it from.
He was born in a brothel in London. So
yeah, that's what I thought too. That's what I thought. Yeah, Eric Brooks. I don't know, man.
I don't know. It's gonna be on the label.
I know. You know, here we go. This 9.8. Let me see here, man. Let me see if I can figure this out. See if we can get lower grades here. It's all 9.8s here, man. Let me see.
For those that don't know, by the way, Lady Fantastic in the chat, I've been on her show a few times. That is one smart lady. She's got great taste in comics, and she is a sharp woman.
She knows how to get the deals on comics.
She does. She's damn good.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going down because I want to see. I think I want to see for myself. Let's say like a 5.5. Okay, so the 5.5 is down $1,000. Look at that. Look at the prices here. So it's down $1,000. You know, so for a 5.5, so it definitely dipping. But look at that.
Go to the 1.0s.
Someone put a 5.0 for $3,000, bro. Like, you know, what the 1.0s?
1.0s, 2.0s.
2.0s. Okay, there we go. $2,000.
Oh,
down about $300. You know, look at now January $1,600 for a 2.0.
Wow.
The 1.8s are down of almost half. Wow, man. Yeah, you're right. 965. There you go.
Oh, someone bought it for less than $1,000. Holy
bro!
crap.
Let me go buy a 1.8.
No way.
1.0. Look at man, they're paying more for a 1.0 than a 1.8. Man. Yeah. They need to get cover price.
As long as it got the cover on it, I don't care.
I know. Look at this one, man. Look, this is gonna make me cry. Look.
No.
That's making me
2018.
Cry. That's 2018, bro. That's making me cry. Because that's when I was looking at it, man. I was looking at a 7.5 for $850 or something like that. And I was like, that's too expensive. And then COVID hit and then it skyrocketed. So whatever, man. You know, so yeah, man, you're onto something there, F. Is that happening, Dan? Is that happening to most books in the market right now? The lower grades?
Yes. According to my research, yes, they're all sort of retracting down. This will be part of my segment when we get to it.
Okay, cool. All right, man. So let's look what's going on with these with the giant size X-Men in the 9.8s, and it's still. I mean, if you bought an April 20, it's dropping. The prices are dropping on this. $7,200 during COVID, half the price after in November, and it's kind of steadily kind of holding right around 4,500, I would say. Or 45,000 in a 9.8, you know, which is a lot of money, man. $45,000, bro. Like, I think I'd buy a Tesla, bro. You know what I'm saying? So save me some gas.
Dan, I've always told the story. When I was a kid, when Giant Size X-Men came out, I used to go to my local LCS in San Francisco, and I remember seeing a stack of Giant Size X-Men. I just grabbed one. I didn't know. 50 cents ago, this is cool. I'm going to read this book. I just didn't know. Yeah. Nobody knew.
You told me that. You said you saw a stack, man. A stack.
Wow. A stack of them. I just grabbed one and I walked in. I paid 50 cents and I was happy. You know. So.
Okay. Well, dilly-dally, man. Lady Fantastic. Thank you for backing me up because I thought I was right, man. I was like, Blade the Vampire Killer or Slayer Hunter was born Eric Brooks in Soho, London, England, and raised as a Londoner. And then okay, Eric Brooks is born in Dr. Comics. That's what I thought because he was born. What's his name? What's his name? The guy who trained him to be Blade. I forgot his name. Help me out, guys.
I don't know.
Yeah. But the guy that helped him, someone help me in the chat, man. But yeah, he found him, man, because that dude was about to get bit. And then by somebody, and then Blade came out, or Eric came out, and he raised him, man. You know, in a brothel and stuff like that. I just, this little excerpt from there. Yeah, man. So it says June 2000. So June 2022. So here we go, man. Here we go with the with what the buys were. So the prices up, man. So this is from June 20. So this is from June 2021, and this is June 2022. The price, this is a year ago, so the prices are still up, you know, like for the Raws. But man, I mean, they're down like $1,900. You know what I'm saying? So someone got really lucky with an $800 buy right there.
Yeah.
That $357 buy, someone got super lucky in whatever grade it was, you know. So, but great pick, man. And next up, man, let's let me see here, man. We got some more. The chat always has me interested in what they're saying here, man. So
Wait, is a tax dodger? Stop!
What?
I can't.
What?
Sorry.
Oh man. Dr. James goes on. Sent his pregnant wife Tara to England before he was taken prisoner in Latveria, where she took the name Vanessa Brooks, found shelter in a brothel.
Hey, you know what? James should know because James found the grail of all grails,
bro.
Of
James,
you know.
Bro, James, you gotta go to Dr. Comics Instagram, bro. Like, I didn't want to look at it, bro. I was like, delete that, bro, because I don't got it, man. Look at Lady Fantastic, bro. Lady Blade was a good basketball player, man. One of the best basketball movies of all time, man. Hey, look, Whistler. There we go, Whistler. Whistler trained him, man, in a brothel or something, man. But yeah, man, let's move on to our favorite part. I know I'm gonna make someone laugh with this.
This is the only reason I came on this show because of that.
Hell no. So here we go, man, with the Hell No books, man. The books from any top 10 or top 20, anywhere that we see that we're gonna recommend to you to say hell no. Don't buy the damn thing. Don't buy the damn thing. And I told you guys in the beginning that I was hell no to this damn book, man. Look at this book, man. Why? Why are you paying $30? This book was $1 book, man. Like on Thursday, now it's a $30 book, and it's not even to me. It's not even a key. It's just the first is the first issue from his first run, man. Don't make no sense to me, man. Don't make no sense to me. So I'm going. All right, what you got in your hell no, Ja?
Yeah, man. So I you know, comics in general, especially moderns, are down right now. But I didn't want to put anything Marvel, DC. You know, but this one, it's a bad idea book. Anything bad idea can just come up here. It's like a permanent hell no. You know, anything bad idea. So I didn't even know what this is, man. Retirement plan. Hey, like everybody else's retirement plan right now, it's all going downhill. So. Yeah. This is a no-no.
All right, Kirk, what's your hell no?
So I know a lot of people. First of all, the price.
I know, man.
What?
Give me a break.
Yeah. And second, first, I gotta admit it. Like, it's a great art piece in general. I just didn't. I hated the interpretation of Thor. The horse is nice. But I'm a huge Thor fan, and I wasn't feeling how they interpretized how they did Thor.
I'm not feeling the green, man. I'm not feeling that.
That too.
That kind of makes me.
I'm sorry, but I don't think people who collect these books at $1,400 for a 9.8 are true collectors. I think these are just people trying to make a quick buck.
I agree.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Never see myself paying.
But who's buying it for $1,400, man?
I don't know, man. Maybe they think it'll go higher.
Bro, Gore's a one and done.
They have the perfect NFT on their hands, so
yeah.
Or they're trying to manipulate the market, though. You know, there are people that have that kind of money. You buy that, someone says, "Oh wow, someone paid that much money for it." It affects the market.
I don't get it, man. $600 for a Raw too. I don't get it, man.
It's crazy.
Is that a big?
My money on something else.
Is that a big old hell no, Kurt?
It's a big old hell to the no.
Come on, no, to the no.
Your hell no, man. This book hasn't even come out, bro, and you're already like, hell no to the new.
No, man.
New
I'm
adjust.
so over Spider-Man new costumes, man. I go, come on, another one. And this one is this in the book. Norman Osborn makes his costume for Spider-Man. I was going, oh my God, come on. I just anytime there's a new costume for Spider-Man, I say no. I'm not buying it, man. I don't care if it goes crazy in price. I'm not getting it. The only new costume I've liked recently is Miles Morales' new costume.
That was my next question.
Like
if you like that one,
yes, because it's more teenager. It's different. He's a teenager, and I like that new costume. But anything like this, nope, I'm out.
Yeah.
Is that Iron Man on his chest? What is that?
No.
Why do you got shoulder pads, bro? Why does Spider-Man need shoulder pads? I don't get that, bro.
When I see this kind of stuff, this is like when you buy a video game and they have these goofy little options you can interchange, new costume, new color, and all the rest of it. And they're kind of stupid, actually. It's not worth the time to do it. This is one of the poorest examples I've ever seen of a costume change.
I don't know what they're thinking, man. What are they thinking, dude? Like, who designed this? Man, fire that person, right? Like, let's just fire that person. Hashtag fire that person who did the new Iron Spider-Man costume. Why does he even have a belt, bro? What is he have a fanny pack on, bro? Dude,
A fanny pack.
It's like you got a fanny pack on, man. Is that a big hell no?
Hey, what's that yellow shit coming out of his back?
I have no idea, dude.
Jetpacks.
Yeah.
What's the point of string then?
Wow.
Why is he doing? I have no idea, man.
Yeah, no offense to second graders, but this is a second grade effort. Somebody 7 years old put this together.
It definitely looked like somebody's kid colored this.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That shit won't stick on the wall, right? So, big ol' hell no, F.
All right.
Hell no.
Come on. Now, to the now, to the now.
All right, man. So here we go, man. We're headed to our favorite segment of them all, right? Kirk, what time is it, bro?
It's time to learn.
Welcome to Comic Book Corner. I'm Dan Dilatoria. Thanks for joining us tonight. Apologies for the bad audio. It's one of those things, technical difficulties, but we'll get through this. This is going to be a very challenging Comic Book Corner segment for this reason here. There's been talk on this show about the economy and comics coming down. And I want to point out one person in particular, Mickey from Swaggle-Hoss. A shout out to the Swaggle-Hoss show. It's a great show. And he had a piece, I think, last week or the week before. And he was profiling his Fantastic Four number 52. He bought a 2.5, kind of a low grade. His wife was teasing him about it. And I think he paid about $500 for it. He did the follow-up segment on that same book, and he had seen, I think, a 4.5 for a little bit less than what he paid for his 2.5, and he was literally beside himself. There's been a lot of talk about the economy, why comics are coming down, and I'd like to use and tap into my understanding of politics and my understanding of the media in general to give a very detailed answer. I don't want this community to be blindsided by what's about to happen to them. Now, I hope I'm wrong about these predictions, but these are all based on my, again, being a newshead that I am, I follow the news and follow information very carefully. And I'd like to give a sort of overview regarding how we got here and what we're headed for. Let's do a quick little recap of the last 2 years, because we were enjoying a very booming economy not that long ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And now we're looking at very high inflation, and most likely recession is around the corner. Let's do a quick recap regarding how we got here. We all know that the pandemic had started, this whole lockdown. It was a virus discovered in Wuhan province in China. The Chinese government was silent about it. They didn't want to talk about it, which is what they typically do. And that left all governments left to their own devices to figure out what looked like a very deadly disease. The lockdown started here in California. Gavin Newsom was the first to lock down his state. Other states followed suit. And before you know it, the entire federal government was ordering lockdowns for the safety of its citizens. Now, this has never happened before. This is the first time ever that the healthy were quarantined, not anyone else. And so with people told not to go to work, the federal government did what it does best, if you want to call it that. They threw money at the situation to the tune of $5 trillion, stimulus checks, unemployment with enhancements of $600 a week, PPP loans and other loans for businesses to keep them going. They threw money out like it was going out of style. The United States was already about 27 or $28 trillion in debt. This $5 trillion that we didn't have, this was borrowed money and printed money, which is thrown out randomly. So people who some didn't need the money got money anyway, and they started buying, which is what you would normally do. Now, the problem with this is that there was criticism at the time that the government was throwing out too much money, and inflation was the obvious prediction, and that's what we see today. There has been a few studies of late, one a few months ago by an organization called the Johns Hopkins University, a very distinguished and reliable organization, and also another one by the National Bureau of, what was the other one here? I'm pulling it up on my computer. It is the Bureau of Economic Research, the National Bureau of Economic Research. Both organizations conducted studies regarding the impact of the shutdown and the government's actions as to all the money they threw out and all the restrictions they put on its citizens. Both were very critical of the government. Both said that they caused far more harm than good. They destroyed businesses, and the National Bureau of Economic Research was even more critical. They said what they did cost upwards of 200,000 lives because of when you were shut down, people were separated from their families, separated from their businesses. They started to get depressed. They took alcohol, drug addiction, suicide, and heart attacks, cardiac events. Now, these reports haven't talked about things like cancer, because cancer is a long-term study. Those studies should come out in short order. The bottom line is what the government did was the wrong thing to do, and they put us into this mode of inflation. And take you to 2020, a new administration comes into power, the Biden administration, and one of their signature bills is this Build Back Better program. That was a $3.5 to maybe $5 trillion price tag. They're still hashing this out, but a preview to that, or a prelude rather, was the bill that they introduced called the infrastructure bill. It was passed by big government Republicans and Democrats. It was a tune of $1.2 trillion, something even Obama economists said, don't do. This will tailspin the economy into inflation, which it now has. And now we have an out of control inflation, and the administration doesn't seem to have any handle on it. In fact, the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, who apologized a few weeks ago for mishandling or miscalculating how bad inflation is, said yesterday that she doesn't believe recession's around the corner. She's either lying or is incompetent, because we all know recession is around the corner. All economic indicators are facing downwards. Now, as if that wasn't bad enough, the gas prices we're finding or have more than doubled since the Biden administration took office. Why? Because Joe Biden has said openly he wants to phase out fossil fuels and put in green energy. The problem is he's phasing this out too quickly. He entered the Keystone Pipeline on day one. He is not allowing permits for oil companies to drill, even though he is not being truthful, saying that they are. What happens is oil companies submitted an application for a permit for drilling, but it relies on the government to okay and approve of that application. That's something this administration's not doing. To further complicate things, there was a war that happened several months ago by a man named Vladimir Putin. He decided to go into Ukraine for whatever reason. I think he's trying to rebuild the old Soviet Union. And what happened after that was he gained the ire and the resentment and hatred towards the entire world for his actions. So what the U.S. government did was they decided to stop all imports from Russia, including oil. We were buying up approximately 20% of our fuel from Russia. And that was a bipartisan bill that was passed recently to stop purchasing that fuel. The problem is they didn't replace it. So this is adding to the fuel problems. The experts, according to their predictions regarding this year, right now gas is about $5 a gallon across the board, across the country, $7 here in California. The prediction is everyone will be paying about $7 a gallon by this time next year if they can keep going the way they're going. All this leads to a very, very bad economic time. And I bring this forward because I don't want this community to be blindsided by what may be happening to the next year. The Federal Reserve, which raised its interest rates 0.75%, will do so again at least 2 or 3 times this year. That's going to put a real strain on everyone going into next year. And this looks like it's going to be what I call a soft depression. Now, what that means is that it's a combination of inflation and a hard long-term recession. I call it a soft depression because, as opposed to a hard depression where there is no jobs and unemployment is skyrocketing, we at least still have a good unemployment picture, at least for now. The Federal Reserve is predicting 1.5 million jobs to be gone by this time next year. Why? Because of, again, the aforementioned inflation and long-term recession. I bring all this up for this reason here. We in the comic market are part of a large community. Again, if you are collecting comics, buying and selling, you are part of a multi-billion-dollar industry, and that industry is going to be hammered like every other industry. What I don't want to see is that you make a purchase, you buy, let's say, something for $1,000, and then a few months later it goes down to $600 or $500. That's a $500 loss if you do that, because you're expecting that the price of comics is going to go up. The way I see it moving forward is this: approach very cautiously. Keep your finances in order. Keep your job secure. I would not stop buying comics, but I would very much limit what you were going to do, because, again, if you buy something, I would go very, very long term. You can flip a comic, but that's going to be very hard to do, again, moving forward if these predictions are correct. Again, there's no indication to say that they're not going to be correct. And I don't want you getting stuck with something and getting very, very hurt with these things, because it's easy to get addicted to these comics. It's easy to put a lot of money to them, but you can't sustain your life on comic books. You are reliant on other people that are willing to buy them. The comic, to answer, this is a very long answer to answer Mickey from Swaggelhaus's question, when is the bottom going to hit? Because that's the question he asked in his piece a few weeks ago. My guess would be sometime next year. I think the bottom will hit. The comics will continue to drop. We're seeing some of the examples previously on this show. So if you see deals, go ahead and buy them, but only if you have the means. But if you do, my strong recommendation is you buy long-term. Treat these as if they are commodities, because they are. They go up and down. The blue chip keys are the only ones that are more or less recession-proof, but even they are feeling the effects. I have a Tales of Suspense 39 that is a 2.0 that such a book topped the $10,000 mark only a few months ago. That book is down over 10% because others are selling their 2.0s at $1,000 less, and no one's buying them right now. So again, as a senior member of this community, I'm throwing out the caution flag. Be very, very careful moving forward with your purchases. We'll continue on with this as the economy continues to go downward, and I'll report this in short order. Let's move on to my picks, and the picks this week are basically.
How you like that, Dan? How you like that?
I like. Thanks for that. You clean that up nicer than I thought you would. Thank you about that. I love that little icon, and thanks for cleaning it up, Ian. These picks here are very cost effective. These are good books. You can get them for a few dollars if you find them, and they're great reads. Let's start with this one here. This is to the left. It is Thor 384. This is a book here, and I've mentioned this before, and it stuns me. That character is called Dargo Gator. He has one of the only a few people in comics that have lifted the hammer correctly, gained the power of Thor. He is in great company with Beta Ray Bill and Steve Rogers, Captain America, who also lifted the hammer correctly. Now, he didn't do it by trickery. He didn't use magic. And he wasn't like, what was the character, Thunderstrike, who he lifted the hammer, but only because Odin gave him the power to do so. That is a book that is completely under the radar. Even if you go to Wikipedia and ask for characters that have lifted the hammer of Thor, he doesn't pop up. You can find these books in very high grade for just a few dollars. To the right is a dollar book, but this is one of the best reads I've ever seen. That is What If number 71. What if the Gamma Bomb spawned 1,000 Hulks? This is an interesting read and a bit of a controversial read because the premise is it takes place in World War II, where instead of a nuclear bomb going off in Japan, the scientists of the day use a gamma bomb. And they warned against such a device because it was new technology. They didn't know what the side effects would be. They find out the hard way that the survivors of the attack mutate into Hulk-like creatures. It's a great great read. And again, it's worth the dollar or two to get that particular story. I'm surprised they published it, given the political correct movement that we have here. It might have offended others, but again, I think it was an exceptional read and worth your time and worth a few dollars. Next on the list here, we have a bit of a comedic one here. What If number 34. Now, Marvel isn't known for its comic routines. That book was hilarious. I mean, all the way through. I mean, gag after gag, and it was a great little spoof on all the heroes of the day. That's also a very reasonable book, maybe $3 or $4, worth it just for the comedic value alone. To the right is a series that is coming into its own, the Marvel 2-in-1 series. I mean, these are sort of like what the Silver Age books were regarding what was it? Tales of Suspense, Tales to Astonish, and then Strange Tales. They would combine two comics in one, so you'd always get a guest star no matter what. But I'm picking this one here, issue 86, because look at the detail of that cover. And damn it, I wish I would have known. I forgot to look up to see who did that cover. That is one of the most detailed and beautiful covers I've seen in a long time. It's worth the price of admission just to get that cover alone. Next, we have this one here. Oh, another comedic one here. Now, the story on this What the series was, they're okay. I'm picking this for one reason here, and I can't show you this. It's worth, this is only, again, another $1 or $2 book. The reason why you'd buy this, the back cover. Every time I see that back cover, it makes me laugh. It's hilarious. It's a play on the old Charles Atlas advertisements back in the 60s. And whoever did that did a real comedic spin on it. Again, I won't spoil it for you, and I won't do it justice if I try to explain it to you. Get your hands on it. See for yourself, and then get back to me on what you think. Next, we have what do we have here, Ian? Oh, another one. What happened to the other ones, Ian? We had a Marvel 2-in-1 number 8. Did that not come through?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, Marvel 2-in-1 number 8. It's the Thing in Ghost Rider. It's an early Ghost Rider, by the way. Ghost Rider is such an interesting character. No, I don't think you have it, Ian, because that would have popped up. I'm looking here on my phone, the one that you sent me, but I can't show it because it won't work on my screen. That's a Thing in Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider had a number of incarnations. In other words, he changed as time went on. This is an early Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. Again, worth the issue, but also a great fun story.
What was that one? So I can bring it up.
Marvel 2-in-1 number 8. In fact, I tried to bid on one recently. I lost the bid because it's that one will probably set you back about $20. But if you can get a nice
picture of it here,
okay,
that'd be great.
I think I got a pic. I got one. Oh yeah, I got a picture. Thanks though. Let me pull this up. It's gonna be on Macari, but we stop share.
Hard to find in high grade because it is a black background cover. And this is this is not the Skull Cycle. This is the early cycle. If you can get it, you got it, Ian?
Yep.
There it is. Well, that's most of it. That's most of it.
Most of it. Yeah. There you go.
But
that's a nice cover. It's a gorgeous
awesome cover. It's a gorgeous cover early on in that particular run. But again, those are very, very cost effective. Let's move on to you had the Obi-Wan segment up. I wanted to get back into Star Wars, and I wanted to, because of the subject we talked about last week with the actress Moses Ingram, and she's starring in the Obi-Wan Star Wars series here. Now, I wanted to get back to Star Wars anyway, so I watched episode 1. It was a little slow at the beginning, but it was very, very interesting, and I like the premise of what happens during that time period of Obi-Wan's life. Is he's sort of in this he's in hiding, basically, and I won't spoil it for you. But in particular, Moses Ingram. I looked at her from the perspective of any actor or actress, and I don't understand what the problem is. I think she did an exceptional job, and it's far more difficult to play a villain role than the hero. What you're looking for in the villain or villainous role is you want to hate that character. You want to despise that character because that character is ruthless. And Moses Ingram did an exceptional job on this. So again, I don't see what the problem is. If as we said in the last episode, if she was painted any other color, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But again, she's doing an exceptional job, and I look forward to the next episodes. And I like what they've done. She has a vendetta against Obi-Wan, and I'm kind of curious as to what happened, why she has this vendetta against him. And again, this whole show has got my interest. So if you want to get back into Star Wars, as I'm getting back into this, I think this is a good place to start. Another surprise show that I'm seeing on Disney Plus is the Ms. Marvel series. Did that come up too, Ian? We did. We did get that. I wasn't going to watch this because it was basically a teen-oriented show, but I figured I'd give it a shot anyway. I was very pleasantly surprised. One, the acting is good. The premise of the story is quite good. But there are two people that got me, and it was very, very personal for me. Iman Vellani, and forgive me if I'm butchering her name here, does a fine job as Kamala Khan. She reminded me of my oldest daughter when she went to high school. She was a brown-skinned girl, kind of nerdy, and my oldest daughter hated high school because she was exactly like this character, minus the power bracelet. My daughter would have kicked ass if she had a power bracelet going to high school. But I could relate to her struggles because, again, she felt an outcast. She felt like, that she wasn't paid much attention to, and I appreciate where they're going with this particular show. And another one on a personal note here, and I'll probably butcher this name as well, Yassine Fletcher. And she's playing a character called Nakia Badir. And she said something to the other character, Kamala Khan, which really got to me. And she was asked about how she keeps herself together. Kamala was asking her how she keeps her life together in the family life that she has and the background that she has, because she's a bit of a mixed breed. And so am I. And what people don't seem to understand is that if you are not a pure Italian or Spaniard or Mexican or whatever, if you're somewhere in between, you find yourself in the same description as this character here. You have to find your own way. You can't settle yourself in one demographic. You can't settle yourself in one demographic or another. If white people don't look at me one way, you think, well, I could go to the Hispanic community. Well, they look at me another way too because I'm not Hispanic enough for them. And that one statement by that one actress was a very powerful statement. And again, I really appreciate what Marvel does. They touch on these very difficult subjects, but they do it in such a way where we can all relate to them. And I'm looking forward to the next episodes of Ms. Marvel. In the next episode, everyone, we talked about DC earlier on in this broadcast. And I think let's get into more detail regarding DC, because I think Ian and the rest of the crew are right. I think DC is ready to move on to the next level here. And we'll talk about everything from possible spec issues, possible movies coming up, and the difficulties. And one of the sad ones we're seeing here is with I forget the gentleman's name who plays the Flash. I'm drawing a blank on his name all of a sudden.
Yeah, me too, man.
Ezra Miller.
Yes.
We're all praying for this guy. I mean, he's a very, very talented actor, and damn it, that's the last thing that DC needs. But we'll touch on that and everything else in the next episode. For the Ian Hoodrat Network, I'm Dan Delatorre, and thanks for joining us. This is Comic Book Corner.
All right, man. So we got a lot of good comments in the from the chat, man. So you didn't give up any spoilers for Obi-Wan, but it's really good. I mean, if you guys watched the last episode, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I really did, man. It kind of brings it together.
I did too. Yep.
It was good, huh? It was good, man. I really liked it. But I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm just saying it's good. The problem with what's going on with Moses is racism and sexism. Then Rob said, I wish we wouldn't have the writers of Obi-Wan as the writers of episode 1 and 3. Right? That's what I'm saying, man. And then Dan, you'll love the rest of the series. I think we're talking about Star Wars. Yeah. Oh, Miss Marvel. Yep. Yeah, it's good. I like it too. My dad's a Londoner and my mom's from Kent. I get you. So, being marginal. Right, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
like marginality, man. Marginality. Right?
Same here.
Yeah, it's hard, man. And then Lady Fantastic says, "Too light to be the one group, too dark to be with the other." She said something to that effect. Yep, man. That's
it. That's it.
Yeah,
it's hard, man. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say one of my favorite rappers, Earl Sweatshirt. He had a line that says, two white for the blacks and two black for the whites. It's like he never fit in like one, and I always felt the same way. I used to get called a white boy because of how I enunciate my words, and I didn't talk like a lot of the people that I went to school with. That's because I started reading when I was like 4. My mom like was a daycare teacher. Like she made sure education was like important for us.
And on top of everything else, we're all nerds, and we're outcasts because of that. So. And by the way, for the record, for the audience, and I love and respect the audience, this is one of the hardest segments I've ever put together. It wasn't easy to make the comments that I did, but I thought that, again, if I have information, I'd like to share it. And I wanted to do it in such a way where it wasn't controversial, it wasn't partisan, it wasn't anything else, but I feel better that you have the information and you can make a better purchase and better decisions moving forward.
Oh, man, you weren't lying. You weren't lying, though. Like you were. Yeah. You said you hit it on the note. No matter if you're Republican or you're liberal or you're conservative or you're in between, that's what happened. That was history, man. We printed way too much money.
Money doesn't have a political party, right? Because both parties love money. Everybody loves money. So I don't think you said anything that was out of place at all.
No, I agree.
Well, I will say this though: if you want to point the finger of blame, it's both parties. Both have screwed up badly.
Absolutely.
And so we're in trouble because both parties are in power.
Yeah.
So.
And look at James.
The same entity.
And James, yes, being athletic and nerd was super hard, man. And I'll tell you,
and I've heard that before too.
Yeah, it is, man. Code switching. That's what it was. Code switching was a must, man. Yeah. Yep. And then Tacoma said,
expert of that.
My money don't jiggle, man. My money don't jiggle.
Stop,
man. No, man. I don't know, man, but I think we in this show, like, we don't brush the surface. We go really deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we talk a lot about a lot of deep stuff, man. From Slavic comics to economy to mushrooms. So. Talk about a bunch.
Have another conversation about that later on.
I know, man.
But we all come from different backgrounds, and we have all that different perspectives, which is great because that's how you grow and learn. Is from other perspectives. Can't just be closed-minded.
No, what's great is that we're all a mixed bag over here too, all of us.
Yeah,
Look at the board right now.
I think it's cool too that we all came from the Bay Area.
Except me.
Oakland born and raised, baby.
I know, right? Me too, man.
John, we got you in the Bay Area.
We all give you your pass, bro.
John's in the OC, man, but he
born and raised in LA though. That's my thing. LA.
Okay,
gotcha.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. Yeah. But the Bay is cool. I love the Bay.
John, didn't you live in the Bay Area for a while?
No, my best friend did. Actually, my best friend, rest in peace, he did for a little while. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I'm familiar with the Bay that way.
All right.
Yeah, man. We're not too different, man. We're not too different. Northern and Southern California. Yes, there's a lot more rain in Northern California than Southern California. I'll tell you that, man. When I moved here, bro, I was like, when the hell is it gonna rain? It never rains. It never rains, man.
It never rains.
Like it never rains. And then when it rains, scary. Man, people driving crazy like it's like a they don't
know what to do. They
don't know what to do, bro. Like I'm telling you.
What is this?
It'd be like sprinkling, man, and everybody.
Did someone leave
50.
their sprinklers on?
50, bro. I'm like, drive, man. Like I got to get to work, man.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Can I say something about Miss Marvel, man? Because
go ahead. For sure.
As the Muslim on this panel, right, and as the I have relatives that are Pakistani. My parents are from India, so I can relate with the show. I've never read actually a Miss Marvel book, but I have to say that I didn't come in with high expectations, and I think it's just been a great show. My sister watches it. I have family members that have watched it. They don't watch comic book stuff, and they love it. And just the way that they're doing things, I think they're just doing a really good job. So, and they're representing. There's a lot of stigma for my religion. Everyone always, you put terrorists right next to it, and far from it. For those of you who know me or know any Muslims, is far from it. So I just appreciate the way that it's being conveyed and educating people on there's probably more similarities when it comes to like church and mosque or temple and mosque. There's a lot of similarities, a lot of cliques, a lot of the same type of gossip and things like that they show on the show. So I just wanted to just say, hey, that I think it's a great representation. Also a great introduction to the character. They're doing it right. I know a lot of people had problems with Moon Knight, but with Miss Marvel, it's a great introduction. Whereas a lot of the general public didn't know who Moon Knight was, and they kind of just went right into the story without giving a lot of context. This they're starting from scratch, and I think it's just a phenomenal. I mean, some of the stuff that they say, I can relate with all of that stuff. It makes me feel included, my culture and my religion included in the big Marvel universe.
No, I'm with you on that one, man. It's a great show, man. When she was in the mosque, bro, and then she went to look for her shoes. She goes, damn, they stole my shoes again, man.
Yeah. And that happens to everybody, man. That's why you don't wear your Jordans or anything to the mosque.
No,
bro, they took her shoes, bro. I was like, nah, man.
Swipe.
If you know that stuff, you can relate more. But for everybody that's on this panel, you may not know.
It's all new.
It's all
new to me.
Religion. Yeah.
No, it was all new to me. Like when they went to the mosque, and then I've been to, I've spent time in a Muslim country, just to experience it. But I never did what they did. Like the women had to go and wash their face, wash their hands, wash their feet before they went into the mosque. And I was like, I love the way they did that, man. I was like, educate some people, bro. My
10th grade teacher, one of my favorite history teachers, he was Muslim, and he tried to educate a lot of us, his culture, and it was cool. But like I said, it's still a lot of what we're seeing in Miss Marvel definitely is new to me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like 90, 95, 98% of all my friends are.
Dang.
What the hell's that?
What was that?
Fireworks. My bad.
I thought that was a town, bro. That was a town, bro. I was like,
I was saying that everybody's a different denomination, and so I'm like the only Muslim that they know a lot of times. So I try to, convey a positive message to everybody as well.
Nice.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man, no man. Alhamdulillah, man. Alhamdulillah, man. I know a little bit Arabic.
I know
man,
you do,
like,
man. You surprised me every now and then.
I know, man. No, man. My buddy always used to do that, man. He's Muslim too.
Fireworks, Rob.
And it was a beautiful. He goes, yeah, it's a beautiful day, man. Alhamdulillah. Like it just rings off your tongue. Just mean God is great, right? Like, thank you, God, for like the beauty that you give us, right? Yeah.
My fifth grade teacher was Muslim too, and he taught us like the greeting, like walaikum salam, or salam alaikum, walaikum salam. That was like our greeting in the morning time.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really enjoy it, man. It's an American story, like Lady Fantastic said, man. It's very American, man. It's about, I mean, even it's crazy because her friend, if you think about it, she's marginal in her race, right? She's of two different races, two different cultures.
She's a woman,
and plus she's growing up in America as a second generation female, and she's a woman, right?
And she wears a niqab.
Yeah, and how many feet does she have to be one out the door and one out the other? You know what I'm saying? There's, I mean, you gotta think about that about everybody, man. The marginality and the roles we play in society, man, are multiple, So, and to juggle all that, man, but it's a great story, man. I love it too, man. So
agree.
Yep.
But go ahead, F. What you got?
Oh, I just agree with you guys. I just watched it today, the first 2 episodes of it. I thought it was a good story. I don't know what people are complaining about it. I mean, it's different. I mean, you don't want Marvel to be all superheroes and just like, Captain America and all this stuff. I love it. It's a different take on Americana, and there's nothing, it's great. So I really enjoyed the series so far.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to what they're gonna do, man. What they're gonna do with Miss Marvel, man. But look. Hot and Cold says, "Damn, man, you in the hood."
I'm in downtown, but I'm like in the borderline of West Oakland. So
you're over there by the freeway, right, on the other side.
Yeah, right there. If you cross over,
You're in West Oakland.
Once you
man.
go over that
Once
bridge,
you go to that bridge,
you're in the
bro,
West.
you in the hood. You are in the hood, man.
And for those that don't know, West Oakland is very much like South Chicago.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
It is, man. So you go to the bottoms or
There's
Ghost
a lot
Town
of there's a lot or Acorn. Don't go to
or Acorn. Acorn's right across the freeway. It's like a block. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm like right there.
You got the Infirmary Park there, man. They always goes down in the Infirmary. You know what I'm saying? So I remember, man. I remember
over there.
The good old times, man. The good old times when Tony was out in the West. Remember those days? They used to throw block parties.
My aunt dated one of the main Tonys for a minute because she's from out here.
We all know each other, man.
Who's Tony?
Some way or another, man. You know what I'm saying? So
the main one, I guess. I don't know. I was like 4 years old when she was dating him.
Fireworks and gunshots, man. And then it's just fireworks. Live and let live. We got Reese saying good-hearted people are what this nation needs, regardless of where they're from. Exactly, man. And Nakia. That's her name. Nakia.
That's right. Yeah.
Nakia.
Man, Tony.
When I read the first Marvel books, I felt exactly like reading Peter Parker oriented episodes. Yeah, and this is what it feels like, man. We get to know who she is, you know what I'm saying, from the beginning.
Yeah, I need to get those trades.
And I like this. Not every superhero has to be a buff white dude, man. You know? Don't come to the jungle if you in LA. Bro, I've been to the jungle and I was scared. I was like, yo, are we in the wrong? So I went from one end of Sunset to the other. If you ever live your life and if you're ever in California, LA, and John will speak to me on this too, right? If you drive Sunset from wherever you start, go all the way to the beach, you'll see the United States of America. You see the rich, the middle class. You see the hood. You go through Skid Row. Bro, I was with a dude from Southside Chicago, and I'm from Oakland. And we were both scared when we went through Skid Row. We were like, he was like, bro, we got to turn around, bro. I was like, bro, you're from Southside Chicago. Shut up, man. Let's go. You know? But then I was like, nah, let's turn around. So we kind of went around.
Hi, lady.
Lady, you're fantastic.
Lady, man, you're awesome.
Thank you, lady.
Come back, man. I love it, man. And she's my baby doll. And Tony,
talk about that,
Tony, man. But hey, man, let's if you guys, I'm gonna bring up where you guys can be found real quick so we can get this show moving. Hey, John, where can they find you, man? And thank you, bro, for your perspective, man. You know, like
I appreciate it.
I love the perspectives that we all bring to the show, man, and especially Jaws, man, coming from where you're from, man. You know, and your experience, man. I really appreciate you. You know, I love you too, man. You know,
I love you too, man. I just want to thank you for giving me a platform to even say that, man. Many people just don't even know, and I mean, some people just are racist, don't even care, but that's how it is.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you guys can find me at Comic Book Crackhead on IG, and you can find me here every other Monday. So, and thanks for coming on and supporting this show, and make sure you click the likes and subscribe to Ian's hard work here.
Oh, bro, it's a Rat Pack. It's a Rat Pack in the Fudgets, bro. That's all this channel is all about, man. You know what I'm saying? So, Kirk, man, where can they find you, bro?
You can find me in a couple of places. You can find me, of course, on YouTube. I do a show every Wednesday with Rob and Lady Fantastic and Ace. Not near mint. We interview artists, creators, like new indie artists. They're having fun out there. Kickstarters, like, and we also bring on community members. So if anybody's out there is interested in coming on and having some comic book therapy with us, come on by. And I've also recently been starting to do the Teachers Lounge again. Me and Gorilla Todd have been bringing it back every Thursday at 9, which I know is late for y'all East Coasters. This is a late show for y'all East Coasters. Here, you can come down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're up like me, I'm a night owl. Come on by. It's just me and a chance for me and Todd to like hang out and shoot the breeze with the community. So, but that's pretty much it. And you can also find me on Instagram, Mindshift. Trying to do some more stuff on there. I just haven't had time for social media. Honestly, been trying to get my stuff together. That's not what I
man,
wanted to say.
It's always good to come on here at 8:00 at night and hang out with you guys, man, in the chat. You know,
Oh yes,
you know,
I
like
agree.
we have a blast here, man. Like we don't care, bro. Like we just have fun and we go deep too. Man. You know, different perspectives. And then Dan, where can I find you, bro? Dan's everywhere.
Well, it seems that way. I'm on Instagram. That's how it's spelled on Instagram with those little what is that, underscores? Is that what you call those?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, and by the way, what we said about on last episode, we're all out here and open. We're showing our faces. We're showing who we are. You have any questions, reach out to me or anybody else. I'll be happy to answer anything. And if even if it's something you may think it's controversial, I'll be happy to talk to you about it. You know, we have nothing to hide here. That's what I love about the openness on the show. We get to, share our views. You can also find me on the Tony Sanders Show. I'm sort of on every other 2 weeks. We have a lot of fun with that. That's a fun show to do. But Lady Fantastic is on. Let me tell you, she kicked my ass twice on that show because she's so damn. I mean, I've got a huge collection, and she stomped on me. It was embarrassing. But anyway,
hey, I love Lady Fantastic. I think it was the first time she's ever in our chat. She livened it up, man.
Oh, she's great. She's amazing. She's amazing. This is my home here, Ian. I can't thank you enough for this platform. And again, I respect and love everyone here. This is a labor of love.
Hey, Dan, like I told you, man, this show wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, bro. You're the one that kind of, told me like we need to start this show, bro. I was like, okay, let's go.
I've got to say no. It's all of us. The chemistry of all of us works together.
I agree.
100%.
And then Efren, man, he's part of the Fudget crew, man, over there on Wednesdays with us. So, we just talk about whatever, man.
Before that, thanks for having me on your show, guys. I love this show, man. Mondays is one of my must-see TV shows or YouTube shows. I really appreciate being on here. It's fun, and I learned a lot too. That's the good thing, And but I'm on Instagram. I'm posting there like almost every day, it seems, and I'm on YouTube doing videos. I do a video once a month with Ian. We pick our top variants, and I'm just trying to have fun. And I've always said this: one of the best things about comic book people are just getting to know people in comic books that we normally wouldn't even have met each other if it wasn't for social media.
Yeah, it's true.
I really that's one of the most fun things. When I first met Jive at Star Wars Celebration, it was like we were brothers. I knew him.
Yeah.
I see him. I mean, I met him for the very first time. It was like we bonded like internet. Like, dang, this is awesome. Yeah. That's what I love about it.
I agree.
Yep.
No, I mean, and Efren's one of my comic uncles, man. You know what I'm saying? And James and Efren came over to my house for a barbecue last week? Couple weeks.
Last Saturday. Yeah,
last Saturday. And we had like an array of different people at my house. We had the comic book guys, and we had my surfing uncle, then we had my jiu-jitsu brothers, and we all kind of we all had fun, right? Like it was it
was fun.
And because everybody, I don't know, man. I don't know. Everybody can meet each other on a level, you know what I'm saying? And enjoy each other's company, man. And that's just kind of like how it should be, right, man? Because I didn't know how the ingredients were gonna mix. I'm like, oh, let's see how it goes, but everybody got along, man. It was fun, man. And I appreciate you too, Efren, because no matter how big the con is, we'll run into each other, man. So
yeah, I know.
And then this Wednesday, man, we have the Fudgets. We'll be on Wednesday. I have no idea what we're going to talk about, but we'll come up with something, man. So come up on at 8:00, man, on Wednesday, and we'll be there, man. All right. So, but hey, I appreciate you guys coming through, man, and I appreciate the chat, man. You guys. I mean, I don't know. You guys put together a really good show, man, and I'm just here. We just have a great time here, and like I said, we go deeper than most shows, man, because we have a different perspective on the show, than most shows, right? So
it's just great topics you guys choose, man. It's really great topics.
I'd like to think that we're all just sort of very down to earth, and that's the genesis of our conversations.
I agree.
Yeah, man. And look, here we go. Rudy says, hit them likes, y'all. Like making fall, there are many ingredients to making it good. Yep, man. And then we are the good ingredients. And yeah, man. And actually, Rudy's gonna be on Wednesday. He's gonna do a segment called Movies for Men, where he reviews movies for men. So I'm looking forward to it, man. So you guys gotta stop by and see that, man. we're gonna see what movies are from from Rudy, man. But we appreciate you, Rudy. Appreciate you, Chap, for coming through, man. It's
Thank
about
you.
10:30, man. We love you guys, and I'm Hood Rat, your Hood Rat, and we are the rap pack here, man. And good night, and we'll see you guys. See you guys in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Have a good
care.
night, everyone.
July 4th.